Hello everyone, this is What If Fanfic and today I'll bring you What If Naruto Gained a Sacred Gear Part 2. The link to the story will be in the description. If you want to hear a fanfiction, please comment down below. Now on to the story.
Naruto walked to his home at a sedate pace. He is in no hurry and is currently observing the unwanted visitor waiting for him at his house, amused. Sona Shitori or Sona Sitri wanted to discuss things to the blonde idiot who bested her in a chess game. Where the hell is he? I thought as he is new to school, he doesn't have anything to do but come home. It's been an hour and he is not here yet, thought a frustrated Sona. How do I deal this? I can't reject his win, as he won fairly, and I'm the sister of a Mao. If word gets out that I lost in a game of chess against a human, it will bring shame to my clan and my sister. I must thread this carefully. He seems to be a smart guy, so I must discuss things clearly. If things go far, then I'll just erase his memory. It may be cheap trick, but I don't want to dishonor my family name, she thought resolutely. She knew the kind of situation she is currently in. She still remembers the day she got out of her marriage contract. Flashback 1 year ago, Sitri Estate, Underworld Sitri clan members are renowned users of water magic only next to the Leviathan clan. They have so many advanced hospitals built in their territory, that they were seen as devil doctors. Sona Sitri is not a member, but also the heiress of such a noble and high-standing clan in the Devil Society. She is the second daughter of Lord and Lady Sitri, and her older sister, Serafal Leviathan née Sitri, is the current Satan Leviathan, responsible for the foreign affairs of Devil faction. Sona Sitri is a young and beautiful devil heiress, and as in the case of most heiresses, she also had a marriage contract on her name, which she doesn't like. I want to play a game of chess with him, To-sama said a resolute Sona Sitri to her father, the current lord of Sitri clan, which holds the rank of prince in the 72 pillars hierarchy. Are you sure, dear? Deciding your life by a chess game doesn't seem like a good idea to me, asked her mother, who was concerned of her daughter's future. No, Ka-sama. I made my decision. I'll marry a man who will defeat me in a chess game. I'm good in it, and if he is able to defeat me, then he has a greater strategical mind than me and can make good decisions on life as well. Please, arrange a chess game with him, she asked, but before anyone could object, Serafal Leviathan, one of the Devil Kings though she is a woman, butt in. If So-tan wants to play chess, then she will. No one can stop my So-tan in chess and win, she said cheerfully. And if they win, they need to fight me to get my So-tan's hand in marriage, she added darkly. Everyone in the room had a shiver run through their spine when they heard the coldness and malice in Serafal's voice when she said the last part. I respect your decision, née-sama. But please don't be that harsh when you meet the guy, asked Sona, gently. Serafal relaxed and gave Sona a bright smile. Don't worry, So-tan. One-chan will always protect you, she said, hugging her sister tightly. Thank you, said Sona with a gasp, and Serafal released her from her grasp. Now go, win the game and prove to your clan and the Devil Society that Sona Sitri is not one to truffle with, said Serafal with determination. Sona bowed to them in respect and went into a room, where the match will take place. All the relate parties spectated the match. As expected, Sona won the game and the marriage contract was cancelled. She was appreciated for her win and got permission to pursue her higher education in the human world. Flashback, and if One-sama didn't make that threat, it would have been much easier for me. How to convince him? How about I offer him a position in my peerage? Train him to be strong and then introduce him to others. How about her musings were cut short by a loud cough. I didn't expect you to be a stalker, Sona-chan, said Naruto teasingly. Her face lit up like a tomato, and like a boiled pressure cooker, he could see the steam rolling out of her ears. She couldn't speak for a minute or two. She composed herself and coughed to cover it, but it failed spectacularly. Naruto had a satisfied smile on his face. I apologize for my unannounced entry, Naruto-san. I want to talk to you, she said like a well-mannered heiress that she was. Please, call me Naruto. I told you I don't like formalities much. Come in, then. I think the talk is private, he said, and she nodded and followed him silently as he unlocked the door. In her deep thought, she missed the seal array that formed on the door when Naruto put his hand on it. Sona walked into one of the most luxurious mansions she had ever seen. Of course, in the human world. The floor was entirely covered by a red carpet as if she is a celebrity, and it is very pristinely maintained. It doesn't have any dirt marks or stains on it. It is just clean. As if it is cleaned and polished to shine every minute. She saw all the different paintings on the wall. Most of them were about a forest and a town in the middle, which she did not understand where it is situated. They are just breathtaking. The forest is full of life, and the village in the middle, filled with all colors, made it more enchanting. She stood there scanning the photo for a whole minute. As she moved into the lounge area, she saw a big photo of two people. One was a man. He is just like Naruto in terms of physical appearance. Both have cerulean blue eyes and spiky, blonde hair. He also had jaw-length bangs framing either side of his face. He is very handsome as well. His attire consisted of a blue uniform with two bands on both of his sleeves, a green flak jacket, blue forehead protector with a weird symbol, stylized into a leaf on it, and blue sandals. He also wore a short-sleeved long white haori over his normal attire, closed in the front by a thin, orange rope. The haori was decorated by red flame-like motifs on the edges, with the kanji of some kind written vertically down the back which she couldn't see properly. Beside him was a beautiful red-haired woman. She was fair-skinned and slender woman of feminine build with violet eyes, and red hair a different shade from Ria's, and Sona could agree that the woman's hair is more beautiful than Ria's own. Her hair was straight and reached her ankles with shoulder-length strands that framed both sides of her face and a black clip that parts her hair to the left. She wore a high-collared, sleeveless blouse under a long, loose-fitting dress with a wristband on her left wrist and standard shinobi sandals. Both of them are looking at the camera and smiling while the woman had a bump and the man had his hand placed on the bump. She assumed that this picture must be one when she is pregnant. Though she can see the similarities, she hold her judgment until she received further evidence. She moved along and in another big frame across the lounge area, was the photo which she was waiting for. There, the people in the previous photo are smiling even more widely with a small bundle in their hands. She saw the bundle and her heart skipped. He is so cute, squealed Sona in her mind. In the frame were the two parents, with a baby Naruto in their hands and an orange cloth. He is sleeping, peacefully. She observed the whiskers on his face. So they are birthmarks then, she concluded by seeing the photo. She assumed they were some kind of tattoo. As tattoos are a fashion nowadays. As she turned from the photo inspection, she saw the lounge area. It has so many couches to sit and relax and are different types as well. As one is just to sit, while the other is to recline to some extent, another one with fully reclining types etc. The room is large, easily 2 to 3 times her office at their school. It can easily fit 20 people with each one having their own seat to relax. It seems Uzumaki Naruto is not what he appears to be. He has this much wealth, but still doesn't appear to have it. Please, take a seat, said Naruto, cutting her inspection of his house. Thank you, she said respectively and sat on a chair which reminded her of her own chair in her home in Citri Estate. She cleared her throat to speak when she saw a steaming hot cup of tea in front of her on the table. Please, have some tea, said Naruto, sipping from his own. She elegantly took the silverware and sipped without a sound like she was taught in her childhood. If her teachers were to see her now, they would have face-splitting smiles on their faces at her elegance. So, for the purpose are you here, Sona? Can I assume it is something related to the chess match we have played, asked Naruto calmly sipping his tea. Why yes, it is. The matter is, I have made an agreement with my parents about my marriage, she said nervously. Oh, what would that do with the game of chess, he asked her. He doesn't know much about Sona Citri. He just knew that she is a calm and calculating devil and Sarafal loves her so much. She didn't say to Jiraiya about her sister more, other than how cute and sweet her Sotan is. He is curious to know what she is so nervous about, and all this has to do with her marriage. He leaned forward, listening more interested. You see, when I was made aware of a marriage contract between myself and a bride, I didn't agree and asked to play a game of chess with him. The sole purpose of that match was to assess his mind and the decisions he made. I won that match and my marriage contract was cancelled, she explained. Naruto knew she had escaped an arranged marriage as Sarafal explained in detail about her sister's victory. But the elephant in room is, what does all have to do with her marriage, thought Naruto. His mind couldn't get to a conclusion as there is so much lack of knowledge. Maybe she is going to propose you to teach her cheese or something. After all, you defeated her in her own game, suggested Kurama. He is awake and listening to the conversation with half an ear. He also saw how that magic girl acted around when her sister topic came. She has this protective edge in her eye. If it was someone else, she could kill them if they even managed to catch a glimpse of it. For someone who had been taught and practiced looking underneath the underneath, Naruto easily found that Sarafal has same type relation he had with Sasuke. He can understand her to an extent. Come on. Spill the beans already. Are you building up a suspense and trying to thrill me or something, he asked, slightly irritated. He want information. On that day, I have decided to marry a man who can win me in chess games, she explained slowly. Naruto was hit by the full implications of the matter now. Shit. If Sarafal knew this, she would definitely raise hell against me, thought Naruto. Not that he fear her of something. It's just an unnecessary distraction from his mission here in Kuo. Sona observed Naruto's face closely to find anything. But it is as blank as a slate. She just sighed and continued. She can't get a good read on the blonde for some reason. But my parents intervened and made it 3 games. If someone were to defeat me in chess, 3 games straight, then, I'm allowed to marry him, she continued. Naruto sighed internally in relief. He don't want to hurt his Sora-tan if she comes to war with him. She is good magical girl after all. Oof, you gave a heart attack there. You should have told me this without any suspense. I didn't defeat you in 3 games. It's just 1. Then why are you all nervous, he asked with a raised eyebrow. Well, I'm here to ask your guidance, she said cryptically. Guidance in what, asked Naruto, though he knew the answer to that well. Sona put her tea glass on the table and stood up and bowed. I want you to teach me how to play chess, she asked, bowing down to her waist. Teach you chess? But I'm neither a professional nor a teacher, but you beat me in the game. Until I beat you in a game, I want you to teach me, she asked, still in the bowing position. I don't think you should aim to beat me. You should aim to defeat your opponent. Okay, let's assume I agree. What is in it for me, he asked, calculating look on his face. I don't know what to offer. How about this, I give you some information about some things which are not well known, she said hopefully. He can't be offered money as he is so much, he can't be offered woman, as I don't think he will accept them. What else do I have to offer other than some training and magic lessons? He doesn't have any, right? Thought Sona to herself. How about you tell me, who are you, asked Naruto with a hungry gleam in his eyes. Sona felt a shiver run down her spine. What is he asking me to do? Her brain went into overdrive and she blushed thinking of all the impure things she always desired. What do you mean, asked Sona. Well, as I have already won against you, why don't we learn more about each other? You know, it may be useful in the future, he said with a cheerful smile on his face. Sona blushed at what he is insinuating. She managed to give her best cold glare to him. But it didn't work. He just sat there sipping his cup of tea as if nothing is wrong. I don't think that would be wise. I think we should keep to ourselves for now, she said, managing to keep the stutter out of her voice. She is an heiress after all. She has some standards to meet. Then how can I teach you chess, my dear, he said in a condescending tone. This managed to kick Sona's mind back to gear. That's right, I asked him to teach me how to play chess. Not that it is a bad decision. From what I saw, he is a great player and he cornered me and defeated me. I guess negotiations are in order, she thought to herself and made up her mind. Then, I think a chess tutorial twice a month is acceptable, I guess, she said in a neutral tone. Now she is in game. Twice a month. Sounds good. Does that mean we are going to go on dates twice a month? That's so romantic of you, dear, he said teasingly. Though she got a blush, she managed to keep it out of her face. Whatever you think. But don't think that I'm not going to win you, she said suddenly with superiority coming into her tone. Bold words, my dear. We'll see how it goes. Hope you will have a good day, he said, raising from his seat. What, you didn't ask me anything in return, she objected. My request to you is to stay silent, said Naruto cryptically. What's silent? When silent, Sona protested as she was walked to the main door by Naruto. You'll see. Not that you can find who, but if you find, you can't catch, he said mysteriously with a large smile on his face which revealed his sharp canines to her. Wow, he is looking so handsome like this, said Sona. In all this mess, she didn't ask about the photos she saw, though she had a good idea. She sighed as the door shut with a have a nice day. See you tomorrow, and soon, she teleported to her office. She also forget the question about her teleportation. She tried entering house and doing some research, but she couldn't. She couldn't even open the door how long she tried. So just opted to wait for him, poor Sona. Naruto had a big smile on his face. I guess it is time to raise hell in the school, he said, and heard Kurama chuckle in his mind. Same evening, student council room. Sona was working on some files when she heard a knock on her door. She allowed them to come in. It was Rias. What a pleasant surprise, Rias. What do I owe this visit from you, she asked as they both hugged each other, Rias' large bust overwhelming her small size. I heard that there is going to be a new club in the school, said Rias with a smile. Rias is a beautiful young woman with fair skin, blue-green eyes, inherited from her father, Xiaticus, and a buxom figure. Her most distinctive feature is her long, beautiful crimson hair, which she also inherited from her father, that reaches down to her thighs with a single hair strand, known in Japan as a hoge, sticking out from the top. Her hair also has loose bangs covering her forehead and side bangs framing her face. She stands at 5 feet 6 inches, making her one of the tallest female members in her class. She currently wore Kuo Academy girls' school uniform, which consists of a white long-sleeved, button-down shirt, with a black ribbon on her shirt collar worn under a black shoulder cape and a matching button-down corset, a magenta skirt with white accents, and brown dress shoes over white crew-length socks. Sona gave her once over and nodded to herself and replied to her question. Yes, the Ninja Club. What our new transfer student told is true. His paperwork was almost complete. If everything goes as planned, he will have his club ready for operations in a week max, she said in a matter-of-fact tone. What, that fast? It took me almost 10 days to set up everything. Even though the Occult Research Club is an old club which closed its operations, she narrowed her eyes at Sona. What are you hiding from me, Sona? You know well, for a human to get everything that fast is suspicious. Calm down, Rias. I went through all his files. They were very clear. He has black belt in Taekwondo, karate and master of all types of martial arts we knew of. He is just highly skilled, that's it. I didn't have anything to object to, so I went along, she explained. In fact, all his paperwork is done. Order for equipment and their setup is what left, she continued. No, there is something in this. What is it? Did he blackmail you or something? No. But he won in a chess game with me, she said slowly. Unable to swallow that fact herself yet. What? Screamed Rias. She didn't know that yet. Why isn't she informed of this? She is a fellow king just like Sona. If someone has the brains to defeat Sona in a chess game and body to master all types of martial arts, then he is definitely going to be a good peerage member, thought Rias. She had a hungry gleam in them. Say, what do you think of his potential as a devil? Asked Rias with a sweet smile. Sorry, Rias. I already reserved him. Better luck next time. You can't reincarnate him unless I get something more valuable in return, she said with a calculating edge in her voice. Boo. I thought I got a potential candidate for my peerage. You know how Kiba and Koneko are still in middle school, she said with a sigh. Yes. But I can tell you clearly that our school have some potential members. Don't stop searching, she said, assuring her childhood friend. Yeah, thanks, Sona. I'll get back to work then, she said, and left the student council room. Who is this Uzumaki? Naruto thought Rias, and thought of doing some digging into his story. Naruto's house. After he threw Sona out, Naruto went into a deep thought. Now that he got his evil pieces set, he can have someone to enjoy with him always. He can't reincarnate Kurama, as he is bound to him to soul level because of the Shiki Fun, Reaper Death Seal. Who can I bring here? Thought Naruto. How about that cat you saved 2 years ago? Said Kurama as he was thinking about the possible members Naruto can bring here. Her, I didn't think you were interested in her, Kurama. She is a noisy one and she can't hold back her desire around me. Do you think it is good? You know how yokai behave when they are in heat. I think we have enough experience with that, said Naruto. Yes, Kuroka is a good option to have with him, but she will set alarms off if people saw her in the town controlled by devils. Even though she had all evidence in her case, he didn't think even as Jiraiya, he can stop the Devil Council from executing her, at least peacefully. He need more power to control them and he is going to get it. How about that human girl, for that matter? One who is good in taking care of tasks and loyal to you, said Kurama, and Naruto thought about it. Who? Reni-chan. Yes, we can think of her. What else do we have here to choose? Asked Naruto. I think bringing Yasaka is not an option, said Kurama. It is not an opinion, it is a statement. Yeah, all the Kyoto will be shaken. How about we try for the human girl you suggested? Not that I'm amused enough with the daily activities of the two devil heiresses, but they just tend to do things plainly, which bores me. Also, we must present a figurehead for our vice president post, don't you say? Asked Naruto to his friend cum companion. Yeah, the two bat girls have their queens as their vice presidents. What are going to do? Are you going to use your queen piece already on her? Asked Kurama, knowingly. Oh please, you know who is going to be the queen here. But the problem is, I can't decide in which peerage she should join. You know, making such a respected and powerful woman into my queen as Naruto will ring alarm bells in the devils. As I'm not known to them and just joined their ranks, unofficially. On the other hand, her beauty and elegance was unmistakable. If possible, she just rivals Hinata in them, and those pale silver eyes of hers reminds of Hinata. Decisions. What to do? Thought Naruto. Reni-chan will be good as a bishop, I guess. Let me give her a quick call, said Naruto, and talk to the only Italian he knew other than Dulio. After a long talk, yeah, it's done. She will be here at some point this week and we'll discuss things then, said Naruto cheerfully. That's a though decision there, said Kurama, and he continued on the conversation they were having previously. How about making her Jiraiya's queen then? Don't you think that would suffice all the conflict, said Kurama, suggesting the best answer he could. That would be true. But I want her to be recognized as my queen, not my sensei's. You know, if the man was alive now, what do you think he will do? Asked Naruto, amused. If you feel like it, then why don't you just reanimate him? You have invented a better version than that snowflake Tobirama did to do this. Just bring him back for one day or something and see the world's reaction in amusement. Really, it will amusing. If Jiraiya knew a world like this existed, he would pray to God that he be born in this world one way or other. I don't have a doubt that he will sell his soul to one of the devils to be the epitome of lust, said Kurama with a grin. You got him there. As for reviving Jiraiya, why not? I don't think I can hold him long, as one day is the most I think I can hold him, but let's bring back the dead super pervert to life, thought Naruto, and started performing hand signs. If I bring him back now, I can hold him till tomorrow midnight if the pervert didn't do something reckless. I think you will appreciate this, pervy sage, thought Naruto, and bit his finger and slammed his hand on the ground. He is currently in the sealing chamber, a room which he created in the basement of his house for the particular purpose of sealing and experimenting on something large. Kushios, Chakra Edo Tensei Jiraiya, summoning, Chakra reanimation, Jiraiya, said Naruto, and in a loud puff of smoke, all the chakra he released formed into a shape and took form with bones, muscles and skin forming on it. Naruto used good chunk on his chakra for the technique. Soon, the hair started to form and a layer of tan skin became visible to Naruto. He used his Rin Sharingan to bring Jiraiya here. Soon, the man's trademark red dress started forming and he took a large gulp of air, as his onyx eyes opened to see the real world. His first reaction was shock. In front of him stood his student. After all the rubbish with the Otsutsuki clan, and his revival as Koji Kashin, Naruto talked to the man with his memories released from their seal. They talked for days. Naruto told Jiraiya of his adventures, and Jiraiya was never proud of Minato as much as he is proud of Naruto. When the time came, Naruto told him the truth of his immortality. Jiraiya's response was the one Naruto always remembered. Flashback begin. Uro-sennin, I want to tell something to you, said Naruto in a calm yet somber tone. What is it? Gaki asked Jiraiya. Even though Naruto was all grown up, he still remembered him as the blonde loudmouth he taught during their training trip, 30 years ago. Well, I want to make it short. I'm immortal, said Naruto, blankly. His face not betraying none of the emotional storm he was feeling inside. Jiraiya is the second person Naruto told his biggest secret. First being Hinata. Jiraiya just laughed out loud like his boisterous self and replied. You did it, Gaki, you did what Orochi team always wanted. Congratulations are the only words he spoke before he engulfed Naruto into a hug. What do you want me to do, Uro-sennin? Asked Naruto, tears dropping from his eyes. Jiraiya thought with a hand on his chin and gave Naruto his trademark perverted grin and replied. I want you to build a massive harem. Beautiful women and all. If you want any suggestions, summon me, I assure you, I'll give you my best professional advice, he said with a thumbs up and a grin. Typical Jiraiya, thought Naruto, and simply nodded. Jiraiya left to the Pure Lands again after his conversation with Naruto. Flashback and welcome to the living world, Uro-sennin, said Naruto with a wide smile. Naruto, is that you? Where did you bring me? Asked a confused Jiraiya. That's a long story, wait, I'll show you, said Naruto and put Jiraiya in a genjutsu, which showed all the events in a fast-forward pace. After few minutes the genjutsu broke and Jiraiya had a perverted grin. Well, it is yet again proved that I'm the most successful and renowned writer of literature, as my works stand on the epitome of sales in this world as well. Man, Naruto, those are some sacred treasures right there. So, tell me, how much time do I have here and what are the rules? Asked Jiraiya with a mad glee in his eyes. I'm right in thinking this place is going to be as sacred heaven, thought Naruto with an internal sigh. See, old man, I have built a good reputation for the name Jiraiya here, and I don't want you to spoil me that name. Don't go to Underworld or any other planes. You can stay on Earth and create all the chaos you wanted here. As for the time, I don't know. I think I can maintain for a day or two. Don't intervene in supernatural business. It may not harm you as you are essentially immortal right now, but it causes unnecessary chaos in the balance of things. You know well the price of peace, said Naruto somewhat half-heartedly. He knew well that nothing he said will be taken seriously. But he knew Jiraiya, a man who strived and preached peace, won't cause any harm to the delicate peace in this world. Right, I have work to do. See ya, he said and vanished in a puff of smoke. Naruto sighed. I don't know why I get this bad feeling, but I think as if I have released a great hungry beast on this planet. Well, it's their problem to deal now, decided Naruto, and went into his bedroom and slept happily. Ignoring the super perverted beast he had unleashed on the world. The world was in pure chaos. At least, the perverted world is. The markets are crashing, the goods are sold at an abnormal rate, and most of all, so many new books were being released as if the author is doing all this with some kind of vengeance. And the most surprising thing to happen was that Jiraiya-sama, the super pervert and god to many, has started accepting requests of lonely women who want to either star or act in his books or movies. That on post crashed all the social media down. It has become the most shared poster in the world with more than 1 billion shares and hundreds of millions of comments, all appreciating the efforts of one and only Jiraiya. Naruto stared at the requests wide-eyed. In a day, the mail address given to the auditions was broken by the number of mails it was receiving, and the companies delivering them has gone into a server breakdown. Jiraiya, as in the reanimated one, took the money from his account and made hundreds of clones to keep things going. Naruto sighed. In one day, he had made the world upside down with his antiques, thought the dejected blonde. He still didn't get hit by the full consequences of the situation. What are you gonna do, Naruto? If you leave the old pervert like this, he is going to become a big headache to you, suggested Kurama. Even the mighty Ten Tails didn't know such things were possible. The extent of Jiraiya's antiques was still unknown if the media is consulting them as try to speak. Nah, leave him. Let the old pervert enjoy. After all, that is the sole reason I have brought him here, he assured his partner. He knew well that Jiraiya wouldn't bring any a name to Naruto or himself. He must be doing all this to just get the feel of it. He prepared himself for a day of boring school again. He was surprised by the number of teens who had the newly printed books of Jiraiya in their hands. He knew that this world was more perverted than his own, but to the extent of teenagers bringing porn magazines to the school and showing them around is just ridiculous. Of course, you can say Kakashi reads porn in public, but he is a grown man, not a teenager full of harmonies who is just 17 years old or even younger in some cases. I'm right in assuming that this world had a twisted sense of perversion, thought Naruto, and walked off. What he saw in the classroom was even more horrifying. A girl who, if Naruto remembered correctly, is the queen of the redhead devil, was doing all the poses in the book in front of Resurrecting Sona. He walked by and gave her an impassive look and sat in his seat. He didn't blush by the display of skin or positions. No sir, Uzumaki. Naruto had seen much worse and endured after all. He gave Sona a curt nod, which was not replicated as they were found red-handed by the blonde boy. All the three devils blushed hard at the display of self-control and hip attitude by the blonde. He was just normal. Even after Akeno seeing all those positions and then some. They got the doubt of his gender, but immediately squashed it. They can say that he is more than straight but didn't want to go deep into it as students started piling up and talking animatedly about the mags released. They just dispersed to their classes and thought of investigating it later. Flashback, don't talk like that, Hinata. You know well I can't leave you. I will find a way to revive you and we can do this together. I promise I'll find a way to revive you again, said Naruto. Tears started to form on the edges of his eyes. Flashback and Occult Research Club ORC, room, evening. Same day classes were done and Naruto went to the new building beside the gym, which was designated to him as his new club room, to see the progress of the work. To Rias's utter dismay, the building which was assigned to the ninja club was the new building constructed behind the gymnasium just beside the ORC room. She walked with Naruto to her club room and they separated when they reached the split point. The guy was good. He didn't behave flirtatiously around her, either to get into her panties or to flatter her. He just chided her for behavior in the morning. Flashback a few minutes prior. Rias Gremory, is it? It is nice meeting you, said Naruto with a bow. It is nice meeting you as well, Naruto-san, she said with a bow. So I've heard, are you starting a club? She said in a calm tone. Yes, the ninja club. I have completed all the necessary documentation and the club should be ready in a week, he said excitedly. That's good news. Congratulations, she said with a smile. Thank you. Aren't you a fan of Jiraiya-sama's works? She asked out of the blue. Oh, that old pervert can't change me, said Naruto simply. He didn't explain further but decided to play with the girl. Speaking of Jiraiya, it is very bold of you to do such stunts in class when school was about to start, he said, chiding her. Hey. I am sorry if I made you uncomfortable, she apologized sincerely. At least she thought she fooled Naruto with the act. Not a problem. But it could be a problem if any other poor soul came in. Everyone can't be self-disciplined like me. Such exposure can make them calm and beautiful school into a chaos grounds. Please do keep that in mind, said Naruto suggestively. Rias felt very embarrassed for being chided like a schoolgirl and nodded her head. I will keep that in mind next time. Thank you and all the best for your club, she said cheerfully. Thank you, said Naruto, and they separated. Flashback. And so, did it work? Asked Akeno as she served a cup of tea for her king. No, it failed spectacularly. And as an insult to injury, he just chided as if I am a spoiled brat, said Rias in a somber tone. The whole incident in the morning was a plan concocted by Rias to test the perversity, a word she created, of Naruto. It is basically testing his self-control in the aspect of getting easily distracted by a hot young girl. She just wanted to confirm or at least find a weakness to take advantage of the blonde mystery, and unfortunately for her, it is just an impossible task. But she is Rias Gremory, the soon-to-be lady of House Gremory, and giving up is not her cup of tea. She will take anything head-on, like how she is doing in the case of her marriage contract. But the fact, the blonde is not falling for traps meant that she needs to bring out the big guns. But, he is going to fall to my trap soon, and then I'm gonna see his usefulness to me, she said in a determined tone. Akeno just laughed at the childish behavior of her king. But she had a feeling that this is not going to end well for her king, which she didn't voice. Time skip. A week later. It has been a week since the whole fiasco with Akeno happened and Naruto came back to his fully competed ninja club building. It has been installed with all the equipments and the ground was prepared well to the suitable needs of the club president. It has a luxurious office on the first floor of the club, with a comfy chair sat Uzumaki Naruto, the board of club president clearly visible on the table. A magic circle rose beside him and a person stepped out of it. So you have arrived early than planned, asked Naruto to the only person in the room. Yes, Naruto-sama. I can't hold back my excitement of meeting you after a year in person. So, I came early, said a young and beautiful girl. The girl is a beautiful buxom young woman with long flowing blonde hair and sapphire blue eyes. She appears to be in her late teens, wearing full body black robes with a witch hat on her head. She is currently looking at Naruto with worship. Now, Reni-chan, didn't I tell you that I'm not one for formalities, said Naruto in a futile effort. He knew well the girl practically worshiped him as a god as he saved her roughly more than a year ago. Flashback. As Naruto came out of the Vatican, he heard a muffled cry for help in the streets of roaming. He sensed a fluctuation in magic. It is generally a distress call used as a flare to attract the attention of the sensors nearby for help. As a shinobi, he learned everything relating to all types of signs. He expanded his senses and sensed a little outwards to find a purple barrier surround a dark alley in the large city. He can feel no other magical signatures nearby and jump into action. He merged with his shadow and appeared out of the shadows of the alley and sensed the person whom the fluctuations came from. There, he saw a young girl who is likely to be 16 to 18 years old, surrounded by a group of 30 half-human, half-beast abominations, closing in. He knew that these are stray devils. He knew of them from his knowledge of Azazel. Looks like I must step into action, said Naruto, and the shadows around the devils came to life and plucked the devils away, and to his surprise, ice formed around the devils and froze them in place. He looked at the girl, who had a doll standing behind her as if waiting for her commands. The interesting thing is, she didn't freeze him like others. Soon, all the ice broke into pieces, killing the devils instantly without any blood or gore around. Naruto can sense the girl's emotions going haywire and caught her before she can fall unconscious. Naruto took her to the room he rented in the city to wait and see what happens. The girl has power, and if she was trained properly, she will become one of the strongest women in the world. Judging by the looks of the sacred gear, he can assess it to be absolute demise. A low-tier Longinus class sacred gear. Absolute demise is an independent type low-tier Longinus, which can materialize a 3-meter-tall disfigured doll made of ice that takes a form of a woman in a dress at the wielder's side and obeys their every command. The doll is also shown to be able to manipulate ice on a massive scale, capable of instantly freezing an entire area into a frozen world and create ice walls to trap their opponents. Its maximum range could lock an entire small country within a crystal of ice as long as the wielder wants to. He can still remembered what Azazel explained about the sacred gear word to word. A Longinus activation. No doubt it took so much time to awaken. Such a strong sacred gear takes time to awaken after all, as they are strong, thought Naruto, looking at the girl critically. Of course, it is not that simple. Like every battle in DD, there was a lot of gore and the girl's clothes were almost torn to shreds. Most of her chest was exposed and her skirt was nearly torn, only covering her privates. Naruto sighed. She was very badly cornered and he needs to step in. Now, the only thing is what to do with her. I don't know where she is from, and by the looks of the robes she wore, at least, what was left of it, she looks like a magician. A witch perhaps. She might be here on a mission then. Let's see what you hold for me, my dear, thought Naruto, and slept on a separate bed from the girl. He just wants to give her some privacy after such a terrifying experience. However, the laws of the world he was in thought otherwise, and the girl started to scream. Naruto understood this must be because of a nightmare. Generally, teens of his appearance would take this opportunity to soothe the girl. But Naruto is Naruto for a reason. He opened the girl's eyes and put her in a sleeping genjutsu. She slept like a good log after that. The next morning things went to hell as the girl started to cry of the horror she had done the previous night. Naruto woke up from her sobs and looked at her. She is still half naked as she just woke and is currently in a sitting position which removed the cover over her upper half, which Naruto covered last night. She started to cry remembering the horrible sight she last remembered. Okay, what had gotten into you now? Asked Naruto. Ha, whwh who are you? She stuttered out. Naruto sighed. But the proverbial light seemed to have shone upon the girl and she remembered him. You are him. You are the one who saved me, she said and jumped on him. He fell on his bed again and this time with the addition of her weight made it more uncomfortable. But the soft mounds of flesh did their job well. Thank you. Thank you so much. She started to hug him even closer. Naruto groaned. Now she is paying her gratitude by crushing me, thought Naruto in his mind. What an interesting girl. She had a powerful Longinus and if left alone, she might be killed or recruited into other factions for their use, Naruto said. Kurama. What do you want me to do? She is already a witch who knows magic. Her sacred gear is the only thing that is newly awakened now, argued Naruto. Think Naruto, she might have magic and some people to protect her, but in front of the supernatural species and gods around, it would be risky to leave her alone, said Kurama strongly. Naruto understood the truth in Kurama's suggestion and nodded to himself. Fine, until I get myself settled, she will be here in Italy, where I'll train her with a clone or something, said Naruto, and Kurama agreed. Okay, first, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, said Naruto in Italian. I'm Lavenia Ren, Lord Naruto, she said in a respectable tone. Naruto was shocked. Now, why is she calling Lord, he thought. He knew well how futile it would be to argue with someone determined to do what they wanted. So he left it be. Okay, Renny-chan, tell me, where are you from and what are you doing here? He asked, and she explained her whole story. How she is a human magician from the organization Grassoberer of the Magician Association and had completed her course and sent here for further training as she was tested to have a sacred gear and was lost, and the stray attacked her. Okay, so you have someone here to go to. But you got lost. I know that you were supposed to go to this place, any idea where it located, at least the area name? Asked Naruto, to which the girl didn't nod. So you don't know? Fine, I'll train you, he said resigned. Renny jumped on him again in joy. Lord Naruto, it is going to be fun then, she said, and Naruto started training her in control and usage of her sacred gear which Azazel taught him about. From that day forth, a clone would stay near her to train and protect her from the supernatural beings, and they lived in Milan till now. Her love for him only grew as time passed. Flashback end. Yes, Naruto-sama, but I like to call you that, she said, and Naruto just nodded. Now, for the reason I have called you here, I want you to join me in the high school as a new student and be the vice president of the club I have started, he said, and she listened to his every word carefully. Yes. I'll do it now for the main part. Are you aware of the evil pieces that devils uses to resurrect other species into their kind? Asked Naruto. He knew that she must have some basic knowledge as she was a magician. Yes, Naruto-sama, I'm aware. Recently, as a part of an experiment, I was given a set of evil pieces, he explained to her slowly. Her eyes slowly widened with amazement. Wow, you are amazing, Naruto-sama. To get a set of evil pieces from devils is just incomprehensible. Can I become a piece in your set? Please, pretty please, she asked him pleadingly. Now, melodramatics aside, my dear. I called you here to discuss the exact thing, said Naruto, and pulled out mutated bishop piece from his pocket and showed it to her. The piece in question is half white with an orange tint and half black. Renny was amazed by the power emanated from the piece. Amazing is the word her mind can comprehend at such a display of balance of opposite elements in front of her. Renny-chan, will you become my bishop and help me when I need your assistance? Asked Naruto, his school uniform turning into a regal black battle armor, with golden edges and wearing a full white bodysuit with a high collar. His eyes changing from cerulean blue to that of purple with concentric circles in them, and his body surrounded by golden orange light, giving him the appearance of a deity. Yes, Naruto-sama, she said in a trance state. Will you swear your loyalty to me and keep my secrets with you to the grave? He asked in a regal tone. Yes, Naruto-sama, then I swear that I'll protect you from anything and everything. This, I promise. Will you accept my request to be my bishop? Lavenia Ren asked Naruto. Yes, I wholeheartedly accept, she said and stepped forward. Then, from this moment forth, you shall be my bishop and a precious person I'll protect with my very being, said Naruto, and the bishop piece floated from his hand and merged into the skin of Lavenia Ren. She accepted the piece wholeheartedly and the effect was immediate. Her appearance has changed and she grew an inch in height and her body expanded a little, making her clothes tight. Her pale blonde hair darkened a little and finally, from her back came two wings. These wings are nothing like anyone have seen. Instead of being bat wings like all devils or feathery like a dove of those of angels, and crows like those of the fallen, her wings were in an ethereal blue color, generating cold winds around her as if made of the ice itself. They have an ethereal glow to them as well as if bringing life to the world. Naruto himself didn't release his wings, but these types of wings are a rarity and he took a picture of her physically and mentally. Rennie could feel the power coursing through her body. She could feel the two opposing magics flowing in her being a magician. She observed them closely. Instead of fighting for dominance, they float in harmony as if they are one. They don't have anything to fight for. The magic is simply mind-blowing. She could feel the increase in her strength physically as well. "Thank you, Naruto-sakun. Thank you for giving a purpose in my life," she said and fell from the elevated level as was in the air a few feet when her wings came out. "Rest, Rennie-chan. You are home now," said Naruto. He saw a smile grace her lips before she fell unconscious in his hands. "Now she understands how it is like to be with me. I'm grateful that she can understand me," thought Naruto. "You know, she won't leave you even if she is afraid of you, Naruto. She just loves you so much to leave you," said Kurama. "That may be true, Kurama. But till now, she didn't love me because of love, she just loved me because I saved her life during the attack. You know how these work, you tend to idolize them and do things to gain their attention and affections. Didn't we see enough examples in our life together?" asked Naruto rhetorically. "Yes, we have. But I'm happy that at last you got a girl who will just love you because you saved her now," said Kurama with a smile. Naruto, behind accustomed to talking to Kurama and maintaining consciousness in the outside world, smiled at his fox friend. "I'm happy too, my friend," he said, and for the first time, let the girl sleep with him in his bed. She slept with a content smile as he got his first peerage member who loves him. "What is all that regal talk, Naruto?" asked Kurama curiously. He knew how reincarnation works. Generally, the devil who is reincarnating will chant and incarnate them into reincarnated devils to their house. However, what Naruto did change few things. "Well, I didn't want to use all the devil stuff as I'm not going to reincarnate them into a devil. So, I made it kind of a promise. A promise of a lifetime. A promise I'll not take back," said Naruto with determination. "I know well your promises and the lengths you go to keep them, Naruto," said Kurama. "Yeah. You knew. Tomorrow is going to be a big day with the pervert and I don't want to miss it." "I think he had caused enough damage already," thought Naruto. "I think it is enough. Please, the old pervert ate more than he could chew and now enjoying the after effects," said Kurama with a bloodthirsty smile. Now. Don't be like that. He did chew more, I guess, but he definitely enjoyed the after effects. That moron had put both our lives at risk with his stunt. He can't be blamed, I guess. He didn't get laid in years after all," said Naruto, and Kurama nodded. "It is nothing they can handle. But Naruto needs to make clones for that separately now." Whatever. "Are you going to tell your secret to the human girl now or are going to take your sweet little time?" asked Kurama curiously. "As much as I would like to, I'll give her time. I think in the happiness and emotional situation she was in, it is not good to talk about such a delicate issues." "You saw it, didn't you?" asked Naruto, smirking. "Yes, the emotion of love. This time, it is genuine and it is caused by her hero affection. Maybe the evil piece caused it. As that green boy said, the creator didn't know anything about them. Maybe it caused her feelings to peak and finally broke the layer she had created around her heart and her true feelings came out," suggested Kurama. "It is a possibility. Both of them cannot deny that. Whatever it may be. I'm happy that she had come out of that phase. The love and contentment in her eyes after she accepted the evil piece, I only saw it in Hinata when she married me. That day, I felt what it's like to be loved. As promised, I'm gonna protect her, Kurama. Whatever it takes," said Naruto in the same determination which motivated armies to follow him and the same determination which helped him bring the mighty Kyuubi to his side in battle. "If you want to protect her, so shall I," said Kurama with a smile. "Thanks, buddy. I guess it's time to sleep," he said and went to sleep after a great day in his life. He has a family now to protect. He is going to keep his word to her. He never goes back on his ninja way. He is Naruto Uzumaki. The next day has come and Rennie woke up happily in Naruto's bed beside Naruto, who already woke up. He was looking at the girl who started to truly love him. He saw the warmth in her eyes. The love in her expression, the contentment in her feelings. She is just happy to be with him and this time it is not caused due to any type of hero passion. "Good morning, beautiful," said Naruto with a smile. "Morning, King," she replied with a small smile as well. "Didn't I get a promotion?" "From Lord to King," said Naruto. "Of course, you got. Aren't you my king now?" she asked him teasingly. "You bet I am, my bishop. You know what that means, right? Said Naruto in the same teasing tone. I'm always at your service, oh almighty king, your services will be requested when needed. They both chuckled. This is what he missed when Hinata died. Unfortunately, she can't revive her now. If only he had brought her DNA with him. She made him promise that he doesn't do something crazy to revive her. Flashback begin. Are you sure that you want to leave me alone, Hinata-chan? Said Naruto with a pained expression. Don't be like that, Naruto-kun. You know well that all I had was admiration for you before our marriage, she said with a small smile. It may be admiration then, Hinata-chan, but didn't it change after our marriage? Asked Naruto. Of course, it did. It is not that easy, Naruto-kun. To get a kind and loving husband like you is every girl's dream. But sadly, I'm not just any girl, I am the ex-heiress of a clan who are strict in their principles and code, who groomed me into being a perfect wife for my husband. But I got you. Everything I could ever ask for is in you. You are goofy, kind, jovial, and love me a lot. That made me so much happy. When we're in the last stage of our marriage, I couldn't hold it back anymore. I cried in joy. Happy to have a man whom I always wanted to be with, and then we had Boruto and Himawari. Though I don't want to deep into that matter, we are a happy family, she said, coughed violently. Naruto channeled his healing chakra into her body, which soothed the cough a bit. See, even now, when I am taking my last breaths and into 80 years of marriage life, you still care about me, same as on the day the first time we had a conversation about our life together. It is kinda selfish of me to ask for more, Naruto-kun. That is the reason why I want you to move on. I don't want to hold you back anymore. Promise me, as soon as I leave the world, you also leave this world. I know how you felt in your childhood when there is no one to care for you, and staying here longer reminds me of you. I don't want you to be alone again, Naruto-kun. Continue your journey, who knows, you may find a woman who is more suitable as a wife to you than me, she said with a small laugh, even though Naruto can see the strain it put on her muscles. Don't talk like that, Hinata. You know well I can't leave you. I will find a way to revive you, and we can do this together. I promise I'll find a way to revive you again, said Naruto. Tears started to form on the edges of his eyes. I think I can't change your opinion. Then, how about this? Take my chakra, I know how advanced you are in the chakra manipulation arts, give it to the woman who resembles me most. I don't know it will work or not. But, I think at least this way, you can have at least a part of me with you, said Hinata after a long pause. Naruto's eyes sparkled with hope and joy. You bet, I'll do it. You are gonna be with me in no time, Hinata-chan. Don't worry, said Naruto and kissed her forehead. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. How can I say that what is killing me is even more advanced than this world had ever seen? It is some kind of virus, thought Hinata, sadly seeing her husband leave the room. Naruto tried to heal her using his new and more powerful Juubi healing chakra. But the only thing it managed to do is kill the original, and the virus mutated into a stronger one. He tried again. At last, everything failed and she was living her last moments in the world. The virus has become so strong that the only people allowed to see her were Naruto and Himawari. As they have abnormal healing rates. Himawari cried a lot seeing her mother at this stage. But Hinata managed to soothe her, and she is at peace with it now. Her husband is a whole different case entirely. She knew what she is doing is wrong. By giving him hope, she is making him think that she would be with him after some time. However, the only thing that is keeping her alive was the last sparks of Homura Otsutsuki chakra mixed in with her own when she fought Tonari with Naruto all those years ago, the chakra of the brother of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. By giving Naruto her chakra, she is giving him the Byakugan, and her chakra is going to be part of him forever. Whenever Naruto thinks of her, the chakra always reminds him of the good days they had together, suppressing the painful memories, like the current one. Flashback end. With a hope to revive Hinata and find a perfect woman to make his wife, Naruto left the elemental nations. But when he landed and didn't sense Hinata's chakra in him separately, he did a body scan of his chakra after getting the sacred gear. That's when it hit him. When he came out of the dark alley in Kyoto, he is in that thought and found Yasaka interesting. That is why he agreed to go to the lengths he went with her. She is just like him at that time, less time and the target she kept is high and nothing else to do. After his time with her, he continued to search for a person who will become the perfect wife for him, replacing the hole left by Hinata willingly. He could still remember the smile on her face when she left her last breath. They looked into each other's eyes one last time, and he saw the look of happiness that he listened to her word and a tint of sadness in those pupilless orbs. He didn't understand why she is sad then, but understood it now. She knew that she is not going to get revived by him. She knew it is an outlandish and impossible desire. She knew that that would be his last time to see her alive. Still, he can see the happiness in her eyes, and with a last smile, she left the world of living that day. The reason he agreed to have peerage is to have someone to protect, to find a purpose in life again. To fill the gal left by Hinata. From the beginning of his shinobi life, protecting someone precious to him was his nindo, thanks to Haku. He wanted to feel loved again and be there to protect someone. Whatever he may do, the ultimate goal is to bring peace and find someone who can be a part of his eternal life as he learnt his lesson of being an immortal and marrying a mortal. The pain it brings is unbearable. But as he promised her, he is going to keep his word. He is going to make this world a place where everyone can live happily. These are the thought running in the mind of the blonde dimension traveler. Why so serious? All of a sudden came the sweet and gentle voice of his new family member. He saw evil pieces as just that. A way to build a family. A family of like-minded individuals like him coming together and who love him. Nothing, I was just thinking how I would be without the assistance of this beautiful girl, said Naruto with a straight face. Ah, flattery will take you nowhere, said Reni. I don't think there is nowhere to go, said Naruto and got up. Reni in his arms and walked past his bedroom to the lounge area. Wow. I didn't see it last night, your house is simply amazing, said Reni. Now it is yours as well, my dear, said Naruto as he kissed her and she returned it with passion. They stayed just like that for a minute and Naruto went to bathe and Reni followed. Separately, of course. Kuo-hai. After completing their breakfast together, Naruto and Reni came to Kuo-hai happily walking side by side talking to each other happily. Naruto is briefing her about the club he had formed and the things offered in it. As a vice president of the club, she should at least know about what happens and how all the things are handled. Naruto can hear whispers start about his relationship with the girl beside him. He knew well how they will be taken. But he didn't care, they can gossip all they want, it is not going to change anything. Okay, Reni. We are going to the principal office to get you started, said Naruto, to which she nodded. They went to the principal's office and the man was more than happy to admit a student recommended by his new student as he proved himself a genius who tops his class in every exam held in the week. A student recommended by him is gonna perform the same as he deduced and happily admitted the new transfer student. Here is the admission form, Reni-san. You will be in class 1B, said the principal. Reni just nodded. Thank you for your help, sir, she replied politely. He just bowed and they left the room in silence. That went easy, said Reni. Of course, it would. What do you think of your king, he said, his chest swelling in pride. I think you must be some kind of trickster, she accused him. Do tell. Why? It's simple. You used your reputation and grades to change the mind of that poor guy. He is just too happy to accept me. You are fast. Yes, I did that. Why don't I do it? After all, it is for my dear Reni-chan, said Naruto, and she just smiled. Okay, now cut all this sweet talk. What do you want me to do? You just stay normal. Don't interfere in anything supernatural and come to the clubhouse after school. We have our grand opening today. I asked the student council and they will announce it during lunch officially. Beware of student council and occult research club members, he said in a serious tone. Right, she replied. Enjoy your day, he said and left for his class. Reni went to her class. After being introduced to her new class, she listened to the class and the day went by. During lunch, an official announcement was made by the student council to the whole school about the new club opening. Attention all students, we are here for an announcement. Today, after school, the Ninja Club will open and start its operations as another club in the school. Any students who are interested in joining the club can attend the inaugural function. The club room is near the old school building. It will be done by a special guest whose name is not disclosed by the Ninja Club president yet. We recommend students who attend maintain utmost discipline during the inaugural function. With regards, Student Council President, Sona Shitori ended the announcement. Everyone started to talk animatedly about the new club and who the special guest might be. Soon, all the classes ended and most of the students were split to attend or not. At least 10% of the population attended though. They gathered at the building which was specified by the student council. At sharp 5 p.m., the doors opened to reveal the blonde new transfer student who is likely to be the president. Beside him stood the blonde-haired new girl which just joined the school today. Rumors already started about a possible relationship between them, but the two people didn't seem to pay much attention to them. Welcome, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. I am going to be the president of the Ninja Club. This is my vice president, Lavenia Ren, introduced Naruto. Though both of them are new to the school, they managed to gain some fans. Female in the case of Naruto and male in the case of Reni. How about I introduce you to the man of the hour, our guest of honor and my beloved sensei, Jiraiya, the Gamma Sennin, said Naruto, and in a puff of colors, a man appeared in front of them. Students went wild upon hearing the name of their honorable guest. Jiraiya is the star of the day. He had so many fan associations. Many of which consisted of men. Of course, there are some female clubs as well, but no one knew where they are. They just knew they exist. Naruto smirked, seeing the expression of the students present. He knew that most of these students are going to join his club now. He called Jiraiya here to formally introduce him as his sensei, as he is now present in this world with him. First, he planned this to be a small function. But after reanimating Jiraiya, all that thought went out of the window. He is not going to leave any opportunity to get his kick from pranking people. And by saying some normal guest and introducing Jiraiya as his sensei will just make things even more fun. "Hello, my dear fans. I hope you all are doing well," said Jiraiya, after his introduction in the kabuki dance. "Yes, Jiraiya-sama," came the energetic response of the students. "Well, that's good. Let us get in," said Jiraiya, and pushed the doors open after cutting the ribbon, and everyone followed him. He gave the club room a once-over. And gave a wolf whistle. "It is good, Naruto. I assume all the equipment are top-notch," said Jiraiya, and Naruto nodded. "Yes, sensei. They are the best the market could offer." "Excuse me," he excused and turned to the population who followed the. "Okay, guys. You can see all you want. But don't touch them. It is dangerous to handle without an expert. I'll show my sensei everything around here," he said, and got dumb nods from them. "This way, sensei," said Naruto, and three of them walked to the office of the president on the first floor. Naruto sat in the chair of the president and Jiraiya sat on the windowsill, and Reni stood in front of Naruto, her hands folded under her bust. Naruto waited for her to speak, and she did. "I can't believe you are the student of Jiraiya of the Sennin, Naruto-kun," said Reni in amazement. "Yeah. I know, right? That is why I don't disclose it to anyone. Keep it a secret for now. Can you give us some tea?" asked Naruto, and she nodded and went to prepare some tea. Naruto sighed and turned to the silent man in the room. "What happened, Uro Sennin? You are so silent." "It's nothing. Naruto, how do you feel about the fan following you have here?" "As if I didn't have one in the shinobi world." "Yes, you have. But tell me, is it anything like this? Fans coming to you and asking autograph is common. But fans coming to you asking for your help and volunteers coming to you ask to spend a night with you, are these ordinary?" Sensei asked Naruto with a smirk. "So you have seen." "Yes, I must admit, it is uncommon, and I'm quite surprised by the amount of following and ever-growing fanbase here. But I think the world should be blamed for that. From what I could gather, this world has high amounts of perverseness compared to that of the shinobi world. I don't want to admit it, but I must say, people here are terrifying. The things they do just to get my attention are just out of the world, you can say," said Jiraiya, in a somber tone. "Yeah. I know that. That is the reason I told you to not involve in the supernatural business. They just make things even worse. I can't say it is cruelty, but they seem to have more kinky and perverse things to do than anything you have ever imagined in your life," Sensei said Naruto in amusement. "Speaking of the supernatural, aren't gods supposed to be taking care of this or something? What in Icha are they doing reading the same books, I assure you? Isn't there a saying that goes along the lines, as the king so are the people? The same condition applies here. The gods themselves are big perverts, and I don't want to speak about the incest tendencies of some factions here. If the shinobi world was anything like this, I assure you Granny will be rolling in your lap like it is natural, and Sasuke will be riding on girls his entire life," said Naruto with mirth. "Oh, I guess I must pay them a visit then," said Jiraiya. "Of course, you can. Some gods are big fans of your writings. It still amazes me when they ban it in their heavens but they read in their quarters secretly," said Naruto with a smile. "Wow, Gaki. I guess you are right then. What about the heaven of the Bible? Isn't the God of the Bible some serious guy or something?" "Yeah, that is if he is still alive. The dude got himself killed in the last Great War. Michael has become his replacement in heaven right now," said Naruto offhandedly. "Leave the perverted gods, what about that girl? Didn't you reincarnate her or something?" asked Jiraiya. "Yeah, I did. I just want to do what Hinata asked me to do, so at least I can keep her alive like that, and I can't just go back on the last wish she asked me before she left me," said Naruto to Jiraiya in a somber tone. Jiraiya understood the pain. He knew how it feels like to lose loved ones. Though not the same as Naruto, he also lost so many loved people in his life. "What are you gonna do with her?" asked Jiraiya curiously. "I'll do anything I want to," said Naruto. Jiraiya got a perverted smile. "Ah, the development. It seems you have matured, my young protege. Make your sensei proud," said Jiraiya with fake tears running down his cheeks. "I'll surely make you," Sensei assured Naruto with a grin. They both laughed after that. "Are you going to tell her about your origins and where you are from?" "Yes, I'm going to tell her. But I think it takes time. I want to explain everything clearly to her. Till then, I will let her enjoy the peace she had. Don't you think it is bad to hide the truth? I showed her my half power when I reincarnated her, sensei. The pure bliss she was in just amazes me till now. I want to give her some time. You know, you should let them adapt. Too much at once is gonna affect badly as well. You are right, I suppose. Deciding to ask the question he wanted to, he asked it aloud. Shall I leave then? Asked Jiraiya. He had his fun and gave Naruto lots of books to publish and enjoyed himself thoroughly. He can leave now happily. Stay, sensei. At least until the ceremony when you will become a human devil like what they gave me, asked Naruto. The longing in his eyes was undeniable for Jiraiya to take, so he gave in. Okay, I'll stay. Stop that. Damn that Hyuga girl, she taught all these things to my knucklehead student after my death, he said jovially, to which they laughed. Tea, said Rennie as she entered the room with streaming cups. Perfect, Rennie-chan. It seems you are adapting well to your new life here, said Naruto, to which Rennie smiled at him. You know the man, this is Jiraiya of the Gamma Sennin, my sensei, said Naruto, introducing them officially. Sensei, this is Lavenia Ren, my vice president. Rennie bowed to Jiraiya. It is an honor to meet you, Jiraiya-sama, said Rennie respectfully. Ah, the respect. You got a well-mannered girl as your vice president, Naruto, said Jiraiya. Thank you, sensei. Okay, then. I have some research to do and some lovely ladies to meet. See you around, Gaki, you two young ladies, said Jiraiya, and Naruto gave him a nod. In a shunshine, he disappeared from the club room. You didn't tell me you knew Jiraiya-sama, Naruto-kun, asked Rennie in a sweet tone. Well, now you know, right? What are all those idiots doing outside? Asked Naruto about the people who came in with them into the newly opened clubroom. They are seeing everything in awe as if they just came to a candy store or something. It drives me crazy how these people can easily ignore things, said Reno with a huff. Now. Rennie-chan. Don't be like that. They were just filled with lust and lost all sense of thinking. We are here to pound humanity into them, aren't we, said Naruto with a smile. Oh, this is going to be fun, said Rennie with a smile. Let's see our visitors now, said Naruto, and went into the hallway to talk to the day's students. Hello, welcome my fellow students. I sincerely thank you for your time. I'm here to make an announcement, said Naruto, and heard all murmurs. He smiled and said loudly. My sensei is a busy guy and had to leave, unfortunately. This week, we are giving time to apply for the club. You will be accepted into the club based on your agility and stamina. So be sure to tell everything about yourself in them. Remember, if you lie, you are going to endure more gruesome exercises than others, said Naruto with a dark smile. All students gulped at that. I bid you farewell and have a good night, said Naruto, and everyone started to move out of the club room, and soon everything closed and Naruto went to meet his new neighbors. Meanwhile, in ORC room, Rias was pretty much shocked when she saw Jiraiya appear in the newly opened ninja club, or the newly minted shinobi academy. She stared at the smirking face of the blonde for 5 minutes. He did it on purpose. He wanted to show us how popular he is going to be, said Rias to her peerage. Though they were not complete, she had few members. Akeno was behind her with a smile since she saw Jiraiya beside Naruto in their new clubroom. Kiba, her knight, was standing silently to the side of the room, while Koneko, her rook, is eating sweets she brought from somewhere. Yufufufu, I wondered why he didn't react like others when I was expressing my authority, said Akeno in a dreamy tone. Rias doesn't want to think about what was going through her queen's mind. Akeno, focus. Did you get anything on that new girl who came out of nowhere and joined him as his vice president, asked Rias, getting frustrated. Ara. No, Rias. She just acted normal like a human, but I am sure something is wrong with her, said Akeno. Why can't I find anything about him? Is he a ghost or something? Koneko, follow them from tomorrow and give me a detailed report of his activities, she said to her petite rook, nodded her head and continued eating her sweets. Soon, the ceremony ended and Rias sensed Naruto coming their way and immediately sent Koneko and Kiba away to not raise any suspicion. Outside the ORC room, it seems she sent her knight and rook away, said Naruto to his bishop cum vice president. Oh, they are the disappearing magic signatures, said Rennie, to which Naruto nodded. Let's see how she will react when I introduce you, said Naruto with a smile. They soon reached the clubroom door and Naruto knocked on it and waited for permission. It soon came and he entered in, Rennie following him. Welcome to Occult Research Club, Naruto-san. You as well, miss, said Rias. Lavenia Rennie-san. What can I do for you today? Asked Rias with a smile. It is nothing, Rias. I was here just to introduce each other as we are neighbors now, said Naruto, gesturing to the new building beside her building. Yes, of course. Congratulations on successfully opening your club, thank you. This is Lavenia Rennie, my vice president, said Naruto, officially introducing Reni. Nice to meet you. I heard you are from Italy, is that true? Asked Rias. Yes. I and Naruto-kun are classmates there, she said, cutting herself before she spoke anything else. Nice to know. Oh, I'm sorry, where are my manners? This is Hajime Akeno, my vice president, introduced Rias. Nice to meet you, Akeno-chan. At least now I can give a name to such a beautiful face, said Naruto with a smile. Akron bowed to them. Ara. Quite a charmer you are, Naruto-kun. Nice to meet you as well, Reni-san, said Akeno, and they both nodded, and Naruto didn't reply to her comment. It is nice to meet you, and I hope that our clubs don't have any problems with each other in the future, said Naruto. Yes, I also hope that, said Rias, and with a customary bow, they both left the ORC room. In their haste to send her peerage members away, Rias forgot to ask about Jiraiya entirely. As Naruto expected, students went haywire after knowing Jiraiya came for the inauguration function the day before and applied furiously to the ninja club. Naruto smiled when he saw the number of applications sent by the student council to him when he came and sat in the clubroom after school. As a proficiently experienced person in dealing with paperwork, Naruto made 4 shadow clones which started to accept or reject the pile of papers. The details required for Ninja Club are simple. You must be physically fit. You should have a good sports record and stamina, that's it. And the point which drove boys nuts is the club accepts both male and female students. After knowing the fact and finding knowledge of who Naruto-sensei is, the applications kept on coming and Naruto couldn't be happier. His clones happily sign the applications while he is teaching Reni some moves like Shunshine and Kawarimi. Okay, Reni-chan. That's it for today. Practice them and you are gonna be using them quickly as they are easy for you, said Naruto, and Reni smiled. The week went by and all the applications were accepted or rejected, and at the end, only 50 students qualified for the club membership as Naruto tested all the students of the details they had given in the applications, and most of them proved to be false. Naruto sighed at that. He knew they want to join his club for one thing or another, but the idiots wrote out of the world things, to boast their strength and skills. Add to the fact there are fewer males than females, as the school was made co-ed recently and most of the students who joined here are nerds or average looking. The club had become female now. Naruto sighed, he didn't want this to happen. He is going to babysit fangirls now. Why did I decide to open a club again, he groaned. I think it goes along the lines of proving your popularity to those bats, came the idle comment of his friend. Yeah. I think I said that. Okay, now what to do? All the girls here joined our fangirls and I don't want to deal with them again. Oh, yes. It was the time after the war and the great Uzumaki Naruto, a war hero, so everyone wanted to meet him, and there are this group of 10 girls who are adamant about meeting the great Naruto, and hey, why are you telling all that again? I had enough with them and I don't want to deal with them again, said Naruto with a huff. Oh, yes. You had enough with them. You don't have this much control over the link between us, Naruto. And I have seen everything. Who are you trying to fool here, said Kurama with a victorious smirk. What, yelled Naruto. But I thought I have thoroughly cut the connection. Your control would have been enough if it is only my yang half in you. But you forgot about the addition of yin half in your moment of pleasure, and that gave me a nice show, said Kurama with a smirk. One might think, why are they discussing this topic after 80 years of its occurrence? The answer is simple. Till now, Naruto didn't have to deal with the bane of every cool guy's existence, the fangirls. Again, after that incident, as the bet he made with them saw to that. But now in this new world and the type of the world he was in, he feared someone might attack him in the sleep to have sex. Of course, he knew he can repel anyone who dares to do it, but he can't help himself but feel a bit scared of the fangirls. Till that day, I didn't understand why Sasuke ran away from them all the time, and Itachi simply ignored them. I understood then. They are so annoying and persistent, said Naruto. Yes, they are. That is why the duck-haired brat is so happy when he went on missions, said Kurama with a smirk. Okay, that was uncalled for, said Naruto. The fact is, I must deal with these fangirls now, and even if I put Reni-chan in charge of them, they will persist to see me or something worse, he said. Why not make the same deal with them as you did with the 10 girls in the past? Are you kidding me, bro? Those girls couldn't last long with me, so they decided to keep me for themselves and controlled all the fangirls by sharing their experiences. If I did the same thing with these girls, instead of leaving me or enjoy what they got, they will simply tell more girls about their experience and add them to the group. It is a sticky situation, I guess. How about bringing Jiraiya in? You know the pervert won't agree to it. After all, he may be a super pervert. But he has standards as well. Okay, I got an idea. If they persist so much, I'll put them through a test, and if they pass, they are going to get what they want, may it be a kiss, hug, or sex even. But if they fail, They are not getting a chance to participate in the game for a month, he said with a proverbial light going off in his head. That is if they are actually fangirls and are interested in you, came the lazy comment of the fox, and he cut off the connection to not listen to the rants of Naruto about his great qualities. Naruto decided to go with the plan and entered to see only 5 girls standing as the rest were on the ground, unconscious. Reni was standing behind all girls with a sweet smile on her face. Did I miss something? Naruto said in a doubtful tone. Naruto-kun, help us all. The 5 girls ran towards him and hid behind him, pressing themselves on him, using him as a human shield. All of them had their clothes tattered and bruised. Okay, now that I think about it, I have Reni-chan to do this, thought Naruto in happiness. You thought all that for nothing. I think she can get a good reward for this. Keep that in mind, suggested Kurama, and went to sleep. What happened? Asked Naruto to the frantic girls who were pressing themselves on him. It was like being squashed by 5 softest pillows all at once. She beat us, said one of them. What did you do to make her beat you? We were just talking about the club and you in general when she came. She started telling us about a test and beat us, said another one of them. Okay, so they were talking, or more like fantasizing what they want to do, as there are 50 of them. Reni knew it would be overkill to train them all, so she tested them and 5 remain. This is good then. I'll be safe, thought Naruto. All his thinking might have gone to waste, but now he need not deal with all the fangirls. 5 girls are nothing much to handle for the likes and experience of Naruto. And by the looks of it, these girls are strong and sexy as well, he thought with a perverted grin in his mind. They endured all the test means, they have some muscle here or there. They are going to be useful to him. Okay, girls. I will escort you to nurse's office and you get treated. Your test results will be on the notice board Monday and she will be punished for this, said Naruto, and they accompanied them to the nurse office. As soon as all the girls were cleared and taken by Naruto to the nurse's office and the door shut closed, Reni turned to the place where she last saw Naruto talk to the girls. Good. Your reflexes are good, he complimented his bishop. That is because of your training, Naruto-kun. Do you have to do that for all of them? You know they might become an asset for us if they grew strong. That might be so. But I know that you can't handle 50 girls all ganging up on you all at once. Individually, you may have. You may live, I do not doubt that. But to endure all that is going to be a memorable experience for you, she said seriously. Yeah, well. I was just thinking about the best course of action to take. But you just did it for me, he said with a smile. You get a reward, or should I say punishment, for that, he said, and kissed her. They had a long makeout session, which started with a kiss and then turned into a battle of dominance by their tongues clashing for the upper hand. Soon it changed into a full-on makeout session, tongues licking and kissing, and Naruto groping her boobs and Reni rubbing her womanhood on his penis. After that they separated after half an hour with saliva dripping from their mouths and went home to spend the rest of their day training or make out with each other or something more. As the sun rose the next day, Naruto came to school in his civil uniform. As it is Sunday, there were no classes and he was here to meet Sona and teach her how to play chess. Naruto walked through the empty hallways of the school building straight to the student council. As he neared the office, he ongoing conversation between the 2 devil heiresses. What do you mean by you invited him today, Sona? Didn't we agree on not having any outsiders during our training sessions? Came the irritated voice of Rias Gremory. You think I don't know that? He beat me in chess, Rias. In chess. If One-sama knew of this, she would freeze entire Japan to make him pay. I don't want him to die in her hands for no reason. I want to teach him about magic and then about the supernatural world. Maybe, if he agrees, I'll join him in my peerage. That way, One-sama at least listens to me before she does something that may lead us to another war, said Sona. He heard Rias sigh. I understand that, Sona. But I want him as well. You know about the marriage with that scum riser. I want him to help me to escape that. Add to the fact the girl he had, she seems to have a powerful sacred gear in her. Koneko said that. I want them to help me. I can't have you bag him before I do, even though I gave you my word of not interfering with him. I don't know how much time is left for me to find a new peerage member, and you want me to leave the one in front of me and search for someone who may or might be strong and leave everything to fate, shouted Rias in frustration. Sona had a realization at that moment. What Rias said is correct, but she is thinking selfishly. Even she had a marriage contract, and she escaped from it by playing it smart. But the point she is talking about has merit. If One-sama was to know that Naruto Uzumaki beat her in a chess game, even once, that would make her hunt the blonde boy. She is doing this for the safety of the blonde boy wonder. Why can't Rias understand this? I have better matters to do than argue with her about who is going to get Naruto-kun, she thought, and took notice of the clock. She didn't observe her slip up while saying Naruto name. Oh shit. He will be here any time now. I can't have him see both of us arguing about him like this, thought Sona, and turned to her still angry friend who is going on the reasons of why she needs Naruto more. Rias, I know we can talk hours at length about who want Naruto-kun. But I need you to leave. He will be here any moment now. We have scheduled a chess practice session bi-weekly and he agreed to it, urged Sona. Huh? So you have gone behind my back and set up a private practice session with him? No, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to see how he plays, and who knows, you might get extra information on him without me knowing, said Rias, hands crossed under her sizable bust, emphasizing the size of her when compared to Sona's own. Sona is definitely jealous and Rias knew it. But Sona didn't drag it. There is no time for that. Don't behave childish, Rias. Naruto is not a toy to be taken by anyone. He has a mind, and a sharp one, I must admit. If you want, you can stay. But don't disturb us while we play, said Sona, sternly, getting her composure back. Fine. I'll be quiet. But keep this in mind, Sona. I'm watching you, said Rias, and stood from the chessboard they are playing and talking and sat on the couch to the side. After listening to all this, Naruto got a smile. Tomorrow all the school are gonna see what his plan is. He walked to the door and knocked 3 times and waited for the response, and Tsubaki came and opened the door. Naruto-san. Please, come in, Keiku is waiting for you, said Tsubaki, sternly. It's rude to not invite my companion, Tsubaki-chan, said Naruto teasingly. Ah, I'm sorry. Please come in, Lavenia-san, said Tsubaki, noticing her classmate beside the blonde boy. They followed Tsubaki inside, and Sona stood from her seat to greet the guest, or more like guests, as she didn't anticipate Lavenia's arrival. They both were wearing civil clothes in contrast to the people present in student council room. Naruto is wearing a light red shirt with black pants with an orange hoodie on it with so many zips. In the middle was a symbol of a red swirl with black lines in it. Rennie is wearing a sapphire blue dress with green straps here and there and a short black skirt which is longer than the school uniform. She also had the swirl, but this is crystal blue with white lines in them. Sona didn't understand why the Sinkin symbol, but she didn't focus on it much. A mistake she might regret in the future. Welcome, Naruto, Rennie-san, said Sona, but instead of letting them bow, Naruto extended his hand. Understanding the gesture, she gave her hand and felt his hand. It is soft, not as rough as I thought Sona. But bowed to Rennie, who bowed in return. It is nice to see you calling me with my first name, Sona-chan, teased Naruto. A small tint of pink came to her cheeks, but she suppressed it well. I know you know her, but this is Rennie-chan, my vice president, said Naruto, gesturing to the blonde girl beside him. As the pleasantries completed, Naruto and Sona sat in opposite seats across the chessboard. Okay, listen. This is not an official game, and so my wins or losses don't count. You are just teaching me, and that's it, said Sona in a plain tone. Oh, afraid of marrying me, I see. Well, let it be your way, said Naruto with a smile. A cough interrupted their chat. Naruto turned to see the red-head Gremory sat on a couch to the side. Oh, Rias-chan. I didn't see you. I'm sorry, said Naruto in apology, but Rias didn't feel a single bit of apology in his tone. I'm just here to watch, Naruto-kun, she said, and Naruto nodded. Instead of letting the conversation between Naruto and Rias go on, Sona interrupted. White or black? Black, please, said Naruto, and the game went on. It was 10 when they began, and it continued till 1 p.m. and is at the point of no return. Just when Sona thought she cornered Naruto with her queen, Naruto blocked her king with his bishop, and there is no way to go, and she gave up. Checkmate. I love you, said Naruto with a smile. Sona's mind went blank, her body froze. Did he just propose to me, is the only thought going through her mind. Rias had a shocked and flabbergasted expression on her face. Tsubaki was on the ground. Rennie was smiling at her king's teasing. Naruto shook Sona before she goes on a tangent or into a dream world with all the things she thought of him. She came out of her daze and stared at the blonde with a red face, while Rias was fuming. Pull yourself out of the gutter, Sona-chan. I said 1-0 like in points between us in chess, not counting the official match, said Naruto with a knowing smile, and neither Sona, Rias nor Tsubaki noticed that Naruto called her with her real name instead of the registered name. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, I just heard it differently, she said, and blushed again. That's not a big problem. I hope you have a good week ahead, said Naruto, getting up from his seat and walked away. Rennie bowing to them all and following behind dutifully. As they reached the exit, Naruto turned and gave them a big smile. I hope you can visit Ninja Club sometime. It will be fun, he said, and walked out. Rias and Tsubaki are still in shock, and as Sona removed the pieces, she flared her magic which brought them out of the daze and looked around for the blonde guy. Where is he? Asked Rias, thinking nothing but to run after him and ask for his help in her marriage problem. He has long gone, Rias, said Sona, who was still taking out all the pieces on the board. How did he win? I can't understand. You are the best player in the whole underworld and he beat you, no sweat. I think there is something fishy going on here. He played nice for 3 hours and just like that cornered your king and checkmate, said Rias frantically. Sona could understand her reaction. She didn't believe that the blonde had managed to defeat her when they first played. It took her a whole day before she came to terms with it, and after visiting his home, it just felt fine. Tsubaki just stood there. This time her reaction was not for her king's defeat, rather it is for the words he said after that. He openly proposed to Sona in broad daylight and acted as if everything was normal after that and went off, coolly she might add. Simply put, he played them all for fools. She understood that much. He is not playing to win like her king nor playing to gain something in return like Rias. No, he is playing for amusement. She understood one thing: Uzumaki Naruto is not any ordinary guy and he should not be taken lightly. Though by the looks of it, it seems her king came to the same deduction from the fire in her eyes. Rias couldn't conclude it even after encountering the blonde on so many occasions. This doesn't mean they need to be cautious or outright attack him. It means they should keep an eye on him and in worst cases take his advice. If things continued like this, it won't be long before he becomes the new Lord Sidori. Tsubaki does not doubt it. That is, if he is alive after Sarafal finds about this, were thoughts going through her mind. Okay, Rias. I think you had enough of the blonde for a day. I suggest you not make any rash moves. With time, we'll see where this goes and take action then, said Sona in a stern tone with a stern look. I thought of asking him to join my peerage, she pouted, but Sona didn't budge. Fine. I won't do it. We'll observe for now, she gave up. She can be stubborn on some things, but she knew which to pick. In this case, the blonde boy wonder is a mystery and she wants to take her steps slowly. She still had at least 3 years of her marriage after all. Rushing things could only cause trouble anyway. I'll be leaving then. My cute peerage would be waiting for me, said Rias, and left the Studnet Council room. With Naruto and Ren, you did that on purpose, didn't you? Asked the blonde bishop. I don't know what you are talking about, Reni-chan, said Naruto with an eye smile. Where is the fun in doing things straight? We must change sometimes to get the desired effect. Whatever, for doing that stunt, you are going to cuddle with me, she said with a victorious smile. As you wish, my dear, said Naruto. They went to their home. Unknown location. In an unknown location, we find several silhouettes standing with a small figure in the middle. Upon closer inspection, this small figure is seen to be a small girl who might be 10 to 12 years old. This is Office, the Ouroboros dragon or the infinite dragon god. She is also a dragon god like Great Red, and she is currently in a meeting with her fellow members of the Chaos Brigade. Office's current appearance is that of a cute young girl with long black hair down to her hips and gray eyes. Her ears differ from a normal human's as they have pointed tips, although her long black hair makes this feature difficult to notice. Her dark gray eyes have reptilian slitted pupils. Her attire consists of a black Gothic Lolita fashion with a pink bow with white endings. Her dress was very revealing and she covers her nipples with black tape in X shape. Office is looking at her brigade members impassively. The current members in front of her consist of members from the old Satan faction and Hero faction. The first being a handsome young man on the other side of the table with short black hair and blue eyes. He wears a combination of a Japanese school uniform and ancient Chinese attire. He had black hair and blue eyes. He is holding a long spear. It is an ornate spear with a dark blue rod and is more extensive than regular spears. It features golden metal decorations, in the shapes of arrow tips, that spiral around in a double helix pattern. The decorations finish at the top of the rod of the spear, which features a white circle, which is empty and has a cross that fills in the circle, but not completely. There is a small silver stamp that features 4 protrusions, 2 on the left and the other 2 on the right. The tip of the spear is silver, and similar to the rod of the spear is longer than other types of spears. He is seen holding the spear even though he is among his comrades in crime. On the right side of the table sat 3 figures, the first being a woman. She was a tall bespectacled woman with a voluptuous figure. She had tan skin with long brown hair tied into a bun with a headset and purple eyes. She wore an extremely low-cut dress and it had a high slit that exposed a large portion of her breasts. The woman is Kateria Leviathan, blood descendant of the original Leviathan. Next to her was a man. He had the appearance of a good-looking man wearing the clothes of a noble. His clothes were black with dark red belts and motifs a cape on them. He had black hair tied up in a small ponytail and violet eyes with pointy ears like a vampire and pale skin. The man is Jiraiya Asmodeus, blood descendant of original Asmodeus and one of the leaders of Old Satan faction with another 3 people. 2 being present here. Following the 2 was another man. He had the appearance of a handsome man dressed in black armor with a cape. He had purple eyes and long brown hair that goes to his hips with many bangs covering his right eye. His cape has fur lining covering it. The man is Shalba Beelzebub, blood descendant of original Beelzebub. The Chaos Brigade was not like any other organization. They are a terrorist organization with rogue devils, exorcists, fallen angels and other factions where they come together to cause chaos. Office took over this group for only one purpose. She wants to reclaim her home from a flying red lizard. A world of silence. I would like to return to the dimensional gap that is my home. And reclaim that silence. That is all. She reminded herself of the goal. She is doing all this and turned to the bickering members. I don't think we have come here to fight and quarrel, she said in a monotone. That sent shivers down the spines of all the present members. Are there any new developments that we should be aware of? Said Office, looking all of them in the eye. I think devils are trying to recruit that new porn author. What is his name again? Said Shalba with disdain. Jiraiya-sama. Yes, I have heard. Those insolent fools who claim to be our race are trying to claim Jiraiya-sama. I think that is just unthinkable. I will talk to him as soon as possible to recruit him to our side, said Kateria. No one missed how she stressed Jiraiya-sama nor how passionate she was when she talked about the man in question. Do whatever you want, Kateria. But don't bring him anywhere near me. I'll kill that filthy human, said Ryuzure in disgust. Keep your mouth in control, devil. I'll put this so deep in you that you can't find the end of it, said Cao Cao, gesturing to the long spear he is holding. Hell broke loose in the meeting and Office promptly vanished from there, leaving them to deal with their quarrel. She is not here to make friends and she only wants her home back. They bickered back and forth and stopped soon after, noting the lack of Office's presence. Even though they didn't respect her, they knew her power and started to talk normally. What do you propose, Kateria? Asked Cao Cao in a calm tone. He is not against a human joining the devils. But if this person proves to be powerful and had a scared gear, he is going to recruit him for himself in the hero faction. I'm going to search for Jiraiya-sama, and when I find him, I'm gonna recruit him for our cause, she said with confidence. What if he refuses? Asked Shalba. I have other ways to make him accept. You don't worry, she said, hugging herself and feeling her body. The question of all the people in the room is, why is she so interested in this human? But as they didn't read his literature, they couldn't understand. But one thing is for sure. If this human is powerful and joins them, he is going to become a good spy for them on the devils. If not, then what happens depends upon his threat level. The meeting was completed after that and Kateria ordered her men to search for Jiraiya. She is going to get what she wanted, and at this time all she wanted was Jiraiya. Kateria teleported to Japan in search of Jiraiya. It's been 25 days since the meeting where they decided to give Jiraiya the status of a high-class devil and an evil pieces set. All preparation are being made for the ceremony as the date is fast approaching. Ajuka was going through all the data that was collected from Naruto to analyze his condition both physically and mentally. From the noted magic spike a few weeks ago, he understood that the blonde had reincarnated someone into his peerage. This proved to be to his advantage, as the magic of the blonde not only exponentially increased but the person who he incarnated also got an inhumane boost to their physical and magical stats. He knew that this set is going to be challenging as this is one of them, and he still didn't know what is going to happen when he gave the set to Jiraiya-sama. He knew the set is dangerous to his race and is making sure everything is safe though. He doesn't want anything to happen to Jiraiya-sama after all. A magic circle with the Bale clan crest lit beside him and came out Zekrom Bale. It is a pleasure to meet you, Zekrom-sama, he said in a respectful tone. Ah, Ajuka. The same respectful kid I saw all those years ago. It is nice to see you again as well, Beelzebub-sama, said Zekrom with a smile. Ajuka smiled with him. The old man is not one for formalities, but he followed them to be ideal to others. Formalities are needed, but they shouldn't be a hindrance to relations. That is what Zekrom Bale always taught to them. How is it going? Asked Zekrom about the project his fellow devils have so badly desired. It is going well. I have prepared a set and started trials on it from a subject who willingly accepted the set, said Ajuka, and clicked on the screen and a picture smiling blonde boy came into view. Who is this? This is Uzumaki Naruto, a human, who lives in Kuo town and has knowledge of the supernatural. His stance with devils is neutral and so I chose him. When I went there and set a barrier to test for a suitable person with at least low-class level magic reserves, this boy came through the barrier. His endurance is also high as he withstood my magical pressure with ultimate class power. I liked him and he seems to be a nice guy around. He accepted the set without any fear even after I told him about its unstable nature. I tested him first and gave him the set. He acted as if it is normal and took it in stride, said Ajuka, seeing Naruto's picture. When he put his blood on the set to bind them to him, The magic pressure I felt was easily ultimate class, Zekrom-sama. I also felt a tingle, which we get when we are near a holy object, and a dark feeling as if being drowned in darkness, simultaneously. If my analysis is correct, he had a sacred gear and it must have awakened at that moment. But from all my research, I didn't find a sacred gear which has both light and darkness properties, said Ajuka in confusion. Zekrom understood the Devil King's confusion. After all, God's death is a very high-level secret that is known to very few of the top-ranking members of Devil Society and 3 factions, and if word got out that an individual can use both light and darkness elements and he became a devil, it will raise alarms in other factions. There will be a possibility of heaven's fall if this secret gets out. I understand your confusion, Ajuka. But I think we must talk this Uzumaki before he goes around showing his powers and cause unwanted chaos, said Zekrom in a stern tone. I don't think that would be necessary, Zekrom-sama. Naruto seems to have a good head on his shoulders and didn't even display his magic in front of me even after I gave him the evil pieces. He just released a small burst of magical pressure and toned it down. If what I know about him is correct, he won't show his magic unless necessary, and if he had already, we would have gotten reports from Rias and Sona, said Ajuka in confidence. I understand that, Ajuka. But we should talk to him regardless. This could lead to another war if we are not careful. Yes, sir. When we call Jiraiya-sama for testing, I'll call him as well. We'll separately test him and Jiraiya-sama can give us a more detailed explanation of his magic, said Ajuka, and Zekrom nodded. Call him a day prior. That way we can keep it a secret. Yes, sir. The month shall pass within a week and I'll test him thoroughly before we can go ahead with his magic test, said Ajuka, and Zekrom nodded. Make sure the set is not dangerous, Ajuka. The life of Jiraiya is at stake here. I don't want a rebellion again when we are currently in the process of recovering our numbers because of a death of a goofy pervert, said Zekrom, and Ajuka nodded. He vanished in a magic circle and Ajuka continued his work. Scene break. Meanwhile, Kateria has been searching for Jiraiya for 10 days and she didn't find the trail of the white-haired pervert. She was informed that he was in Japan and she so started searching for him with her men. He would pop up at one place at one point and when they go there, he won't be there. This frustrated her. She didn't want Jiraiya solely for Chaos Brigade, but there are some things that she wants from the pervert personally and she is going to get them no matter what and after however long it takes. She is Kateria Leviathan, descendant of original Leviathan. She is not going to give up that easily. She thought of all things she wanted Jiraiya for, licking her lips with a dreamy smile on her face, she continued her search. Scene break with Naruto. Naruto was enjoying himself with his girls, club members. The ninja club has become the most desired club to join, rivaling the likes of student council and occult research club. Naruto had 4 girls with him as the last girl didn't make the cut. He started teaching the basics of taijutsu and kenjutsu katas to them. He observed that one of them had so much talent with a sword while the other 2 have good taijutsu. One girl whom he knew intimately is doing exceptionally well in her spar against Rennie. He pulled out of her slumber during one of his adventures. I think she came to her physical peak. No doubt that her body had adopted well after such long slumber. What do to with her? Thought Naruto. All the girls in the club are likely candidates to become his peerage members. They are talented, young and had high potential if trained properly, add to the fact that they are sexy as hell as well, Naruto couldn't stop thinking about it. Oh, thought like a pervert, came the voice of Kurama. What can I do? The more and more I get accustomed to this world, the more and more perverted I'm becoming. Can you fault me for that? Said Naruto with a sigh. Maybe that Senjutsu purification caused this mess, said Kurama, referring to the nature purification process Naruto had done when he first came to this world. Yeah, maybe. But you know that this world is somewhat tilted more to the side of hentai and harem than ours ever did. Like, everyone, even gods are perverts. I'm just a measly human, said Naruto with a smirk. Human, you are. Leave it. I don't have any qualms with whomever you fuck, and whatever you call yourself. I just want to have entertainment, that's it, said Kurama in a bored tone. Why a sudden interest in these human girls though? I mean, you have so many other supernatural girls to add to your peerage, like the fallen girl or the blonde fox girl, said Kurama, counting with his fingers. Where is the fun in making stronger people even stronger, Kurama? I want to make these human girls strong. I am not saying I'm not going to take the supernatural girls. But here I have 3 new girls who are interested in me and sexy with good skills. If I make them mine, I can have good control over the future share of Kuo which I'll get. I don't want to involve them now. The time will come to pull my cards out of the bag. It's just 3 pieces, Kurama. Why not include some of these as well? After all of them are not completely human, said Naruto, and Kurama nodded. His partner had a point. He can sense them, though he can't pinpoint the species. They are not human, That's for sure. How interesting, yesterday that girl, now these. I can't wait for what happens in the future, thought the fox excitedly and slept. Outside world currently, they were painting the whole school building in pink, neon green, and orange. This is part of their stealth training as they try to actively conceal themselves during broad daylight. He was guiding 2 girls while Rennie was taking care of the other 2. After that chess training session with Sona, he started to unleash his pranks on the school. The first prank he pulled was on the fallen hybrid girl for teasing him. Though he didn't get flustered, he took her bra and panties away while she was changing her dress and put itching powder on them. Akeno tried to keep her urges to itch in check, but she couldn't, and ran off to her club room to change. On the way to the club room she started tossing her school uniform away, though no one but Naruto and Rennie saw what lay within them as they were observing the moments of the Hajime girl closely, and saw through the barrier she made to conceal herself and her body. Naruto laughed his ass off when he saw that Akeno breasts are few centimeters larger than Rennie's. "Aw, Rennie-chan, I think yours are not the largest in size," teased Naruto, and the girl did everything in her power to swipe that teasing smile off her blonde king's face. After that, a string of pranks followed which made all the students stay alerted every time and brought the student council in big headache. Sona understood what Naruto said now. As he said, they can't pinpoint the culprit, not find any clue of who did it. All that is left is words like "Hail Jiraiya-sama" and "for the love of orange," which didn't make any sense to the black-haired girl. Is the color orange taking revenge on the school, or is someone wantonly doing this, thought Sona. She knew Naruto is tied to this. But for the life of her, she couldn't find any evidence pointing towards in his direction. She tried everything and didn't find any. She sighed to herself. It will be another game soon and she doesn't want to lose again to the blonde and get embarrassed. Scene break. Naruto decided to teach the art of pranking to the girls. Pranking used to be a highly sought-after skill when Naruto was Hokage, and he is not going to miss such a great opportunity to teach pranking. Okay, girls. Now you are going to learn how to prank. You do this for fun, that's it. If you do this well, guess what, I'll give you a good reward, is that clear? He said to them seriously and sternly. But when the topic of the reward came, he gave them a feral grin which made all the girls blush. He saw a group of 3 kids walking out of the middle school on the way to the park. He got his opportunity to play a prank on them. Okay, my cuties, wait here, I'll be back, he said, and put Rennie in charge of the group and walked to the group of boys. He walked close to the boys and heard what they were talking about. "Issei, I got some new mags at my place. Why don't you come?" Motohama already agreed. "Isn't it right?" Motohama asked Matsuda, a teen who had a shaved hair and normally wearing his middle school uniform with an unbuttoned blazer. To another teen with glasses beside him. "Yup. I'm all in, dude. Can you imagine, all those girls and their bodies, oh sweet," said Motohama in a dreamy tone. "Dude, the best part in a girl is boobs, and I'm not going to agree if you say any," another proclaimed Issei. Issei is of average height with short spiky brown hair, with 2 short locks of hair behind his head, and light brown eyes. He is also wearing his school uniform like his friends, but his short was open, chewing a green t-shirt with blue Snickers. Naruto looked at them and felt something different about the last boy than the other 2 teens. Interesting. Seems like this kid has a sacred gear and it seems to be strong. What to do, thought the blonde. Why not use the Sharingan? It is an easy and best way to get information smoothly without causing a scene, said Kurama. Sharingan, you say? I didn't think you would tell me to use the Uchiha Dojutsu one day, Kurama said, Naruto appearing in front of his partner. I'm not. Ma, they are not gonna do shit now, I have more advanced Dojutsu than that Sharingan after all, said Kurama with a smirk, gesturing to his closed Rin Sharingan. Naruto sighed. I think you are not going to stop your mockery of them, he said, and Kurama gave him a toothy smile. Change yourself into Skiadrum. I don't want to reveal you if things get south, we should do things diplomatically for now, said Naruto, and in a puff of smoke, Kurama changed into Skiadrum. Deciding to go with what Kurama suggested, Naruto went to the boys. Yo, he said, and the 3 boys turned to look at him. He activated his Sharingan and cast a Genjutsu as they were talking and put the 3 boys in Genjutsu about an imaginary conversation. When looked deep into the brown orbs of Issei, he entered his mind, and while the boy is conversing with his illusion, he searched through his mind. When he reached the deeper parts of Issei's mind, he saw a place which he can relate to his mindscape. The area was surrounded by flames, and in the middle of the flames is a sleeping figure. The figure is a dragon with the appearance of a large red western dragon, with a long neck and green eyes. He also has red and golden spikes throughout his body with a long tail and large wings. He opened his green eyes, which have reptilian slits in them, and stared at Naruto. The flames behind him intensified. Who are you, and how did get here? Said the dragon in a gruff tone. Oh, so you're the Security. Vrige, is it? Said Naruto in a conversational tone. I asked who are you and what are you doing here, said Dragon in anger, the flames surrounding them intensifying in heat. Whoa, whoa. Why so cold, or should I say hot, my dragon friend? I'm here to talk, said Naruto, raising his hands in a placating manner. Vrige observed and stared into the weird red eyes which had a strange pattern in them spinning wildly. He felt a tug on his conscience but didn't feel anything else. He took note of this weird sensation. You are not a human, are you? Asked Vrige in a neutral tone. I'm not, said Naruto with a smile. That explains it. I'm getting a weird smell from you and can't pinpoint which species it is from, he said more calm as the boy didn't attack him. Oh, what did you smell? Asked Naruto with a raised eyebrow. It smelt like a weird mix between human, dragon, devil and some other species which I can't find, he said, and Naruto smiled. It seems God did not take away your primary senses, Vrige. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, by the way, said Naruto, extending his hand as if not having any fear of the Red Dragon Emperor. Vrige gave him his claw and they shared hands. What do you want with me? Nothing. I was just walking around and came across your perverted host and thought of talking to you, that's it. You are here as you want to talk to me? Asked Vrige incredulously. I think I'm here only for that purpose. Let's see, what did I forget? Meet the dragon, check. Find who it is, check. Talk to them, check. Tell him something about the current affairs, not check. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. I'm sorry, it seems I forgot something. You see, your nemesis is regarded as one of the strongest of this generation, said Naruto in a low tone as if he is gossiping. Are you talking about Albion's host, human? Asked Vrige, his anger rising and the flames intensify. He decided to call the brat human for now. Naruto smiled widely. Yup, the same hacker Yuku you are obsessed with, said Naruto with a teasing smile. You dare come here and talk highly about my enemy, shouted Vrige, and the fire started to engulf Naruto. Ha ha ha. Yup. But it is not to mock you, Vrige. It is just information I know and wanted to share and remember, said Naruto, going a dramatic pause, his hair shadowing his eyes. You two are not only the heavenly dragons, said Naruto, and Vrige observed something peculiar which sent chills down his spine. When he came through the space above him, but this time, the boy got engulfed in shadows. This made Vrige take a step back. No. It can't be. Is he the host of Skiadrum? How is it possible? Skiadrum was supposed to live unlike us, thought Vrige. He had a very close relation to the Dragon of Shadows after all. Remember this, Vrige, you and Albion did so much damage to our race. For that, I'm gonna slay you myself if I find anything about you and your petty rival causing chaos again, are the last words Skiadrum told to him and Albion before their souls got sealed into the sacred gears they currently reside in. Things got more complicated now with Skiadrum's host coming into the picture. See you around, Vrige, said Naruto, and vanished in shadows. But due to his insurmountable bad luck, or maybe due to the perverted tendencies of his host, he knew that he is not going to awaken soon. With the fear of facing Skiadrum in mind, Vrige went into a fear-filled sleep, plotting ways to deal with the shadow dragon if it came to that. Scene break. Rennie observed the illusion made by her king and stayed quiet while observing the other girls. After some time, he came out of the illusion and started to speak with the boys. She looked at them curiously while keeping an ear on the girls with her, who started to talk animatedly. She knew that the girls which were left in the club even after her test were not normal. She had this feeling about them. Every one of them is different, but why Naruto let them be in the club is $1 million question she wanted answers for. On top of that, he didn't say anything about what happened to the other girls she tested and disqualified and in the nurse office. After some time, Naruto walked up to the girls and smiled. Wow, Naruto-kun is amazing, said a purple-haired girl with a dreamy look. Yeah. He is totally cool, said a light orange-haired girl. Do you think he will share my bed? Said violet-haired girl, licking her lips, who Rennie knew to be a third-year girl. Do you think he will marry me? Came the sly voice of a blue-haired girl. Rennie rose an eyebrow. Marriage? What are they even thinking? Thought Rennie, turning back to her returning king. She is going to keep an eye on them from now on. Now, get to your positions and start planning, he said, and all the girls ran into the park. As they did their pranks, Naruto observed them from a distance. Rennie came and stood beside him. Don't you think this is going too far, Naruto-kun? She asked him with a raised eyebrow. Nope. I don't think so. Pranking should be taught in school, Rennie-chan. In my childhood, it helped a lot in running away and stamina training. I'm giving them this for that reason. It may seem weird to everyone, but pranks are good. So good that I have played on some gods and goddesses here, said Naruto with a cheeky smile. Oh my, Wouldn't I like to hear them, said Reni, and Naruto smiled. Maybe, some other time, sweetheart, he said and poked her forehead with 2 fingers. She pouted, but he didn't budge, and so they observed on. An hour passed and all the girls returned playing a successful prank. Naruto is waiting for the 3 boys whom he told to paint the school with neon colors and with pictures from a porn mag one he took from one of them. Soon, all the 3 of them came with labored breaths and exhaustion coming back from a task Naruto gave to them. Yo, guys. I think you have done it, asked Naruto with a cheerful smile. Dude, it is so difficult. But we did it, said the bald guy. Yeah. Now give us that book. I want to build my harem immediately, said Issei with vigor and determination, his other friends nodding with him. Okay, but remember, this is the only copy left of the book. Now which of you want it, asked Naruto. 3 teens got pensive looks and started to think about it. Naruto got a wider smile and took the book out. Okay, I think it is going to take time. As it is already about to be night, I have my girls with me, I must drop them at their homes. I'll keep the book right here. Decide and take it, said Naruto, and kept the book in the middle of 3 boys. Have a nice day, boys. See ya, he said, waving at the 3 boys who got confused looks on their faces, and realization hit them at once. This is a book Naruto used as a part of his prank on the boys. All in good fun. One book written by Jiraiya same. About harem, they thought simultaneously. They went to grab the book, but all of them grabbed it at once. What, Matsuda? I'll give you the best magazine I have, give me, he said, pulling it to his side. No, Motohama. I'll give the best collection of exclusive videos I have, just give me this, said Matsuda, pulling the book to his side. Guys, I think you forgot me, thought Issei, but pulled the book in vigor. Guys, I'll give you all my porn collection. Please give me. I want to become the harem king, pleaded Issei, and pulled his hardest, but because of his skinny body, it didn't do much. They started to pull the book in their own directions, and soon they heard a ripping sound. They didn't pay any attention to it and continued their struggle. As it continued for a minute, the book tore into 3 different parts and then into even smaller pieces due to the force. No, they shouted in horror and despair as the book was shredded into pieces and all the parts blew away in winds. The 3 boys are animatedly crying about the loss of an exclusive precious book. Naruto and the girls standing behind a bush out of sight started laughing hard. I didn't think those 3 to be such idiots. I thought they at least find out what is in it, said Naruto, laughing. Seriously. How dumb they can be. I thought the same, said Reni, wiping some tears from her eyes. I thought the book itself is a prank, said the purple-haired girl. You would be right in assuming that, my dear. But the book didn't have anything in it particularly. It just wrote, be charming and cool as Naruto-sama on the front page, said Naruto with a smile. He got dreamy eyes from all girls including Reni as they reached their clubroom. Wow, Naruto-kun/sama is so charming. Can we have you for ourselves, they said in a sly tone, and Naruto nodded vigorously and they jumped on him. Naruto enjoyed himself by kissing all the 5 girls there, and after a full-on makeout session broke out for an hour, they all left to their homes with satisfied smiles. Of course, Naruto, being the gentleman, went to drop them. Reni also had a satisfied smile on her face. Why are you smiling like that, asked Naruto. Oh, nothing. I just thought you started this club to be a rival to the present devils, but after today's activities, I doubt that. Are you doubting me already? He said with a mock-hurt look, catching his heart dramatically. Nope. I'm not doubting you, I'm just doubting the motives here. You didn't tell me you were going to have a personal orgy session in our club, she said, not concerned about the hurt look that crossed Naruto's face. Well, you can say I didn't think of that. But I kissed them as a motivation and of course to get some valuable information about them, thought Naruto. He must admit, they are unique in their own right. You saw the satisfied looks and determined looks in their eyes. It is for encouragement. You and I know well why they joined the club, he said, and Reni nodded. To gain your love and if possible a place in a bed, said Reni, quoting the purple-haired girl. Yes, that is why I kissed them. Don't worry, sweetie. You are my family now. You are not going to be replaced by them, he said, kissing her passionately. Reni gave in, his touch is mesmerizing and that is one of the reasons why she wanted to be with him. Are your worries calmed yet? He asked with a smile. Maybe a night out will solve them, she said in a questioning tone. Ah, yes. That is the perfect solution for all our worries, my dear. Let's go. We have a night to enjoy, he said, and they both left to their house in a flash. After a full night of ecstasy and pleasure, Reni woke up to see her lover's cerulean blue orb staring at her sapphire once. He had a smile on his face and Reni couldn't hold herself from blushing by that enchanting smile. Morning, sleepyhead, said Naruto, kissing on her forehead as she is on him. Mornin', Naruto-kun, she replied groggily. Deciding to wake her up with passion, Naruto kissed her and they both had a mini makeout session. Their tongues going along with each other and their hands exploring the bodies of others. It would be a perfect scene in a romance novel. After their passionate kiss, a fully awake Reni leaned into Naruto and kissed on his bare torso and started drawing circles on them. Naruto rose an eyebrow at that. She won't behave like this unless she wants to ask something but is hesitating to ask. Your face is glowing, sweat heart teased Naruto pointing to her red face and it had an afterglow to it. Let it, I can cover it with some makeup or an illusion maybe, she said and pushed him back on the bed. That comment made her get her confidence back and she asked the question circling her mind. What happened with the clone you sent with other girls who failed the test and were taken to the infirmary? She asked quickly and put a hand on her mouth. Oh, that is what you are interested in? Well, that is a unique experience, said Naruto. Flashback begin clone POV. As I was walking towards the infirmary with the injured girls, I took notice of how the conscious ones occasionally look at me and blush hard. Man, they can't hold back their fantasies on me, I thought with a perverted smile on his face. When they saw my perverted smile, some of them had large nosebleeds and I picked them and continued my way to the nurse's office. Most of the nosebleeds came from 4 of the 5 girls who withstood Reni's test. Their clothes are barely holding their bodies and the school blazer is ready to burst out because of the massive rack it is holding back. I walked straight to the door and they accidentally bumped into me, not noticing I stopped, pressing themselves on me longer than usual. Not that I care, he said to the listening Reni. Okay, I knocked on the door and got the first glimpse of another beautiful woman. Our school nurse. When she saw me with all the girls her reaction was quite entertaining. How can you do it with so many young women, young man? You would get HIV or AIDS or any kind of STD if you go on like this, she said, crossing her arms under her large bust, making them jiggle by that action and steam coming out of her ears with her face red. The only thing I didn't understand is, how for fuck's sake did she come to that conclusion and why the hell is her face red and ears steaming, said Naruto to Reni with a sigh. Maybe she is disappointed that she didn't get part of it, soothed his bishop while ruffling his hair as his head is on her lap. Listening to the tale. Whatever, said Naruto and continued. Madam, I didn't do anything to them, they just got injured and I brought them here, I said calmly, contrast to what the nurse was expecting. She was expecting him to get all flustered and embarrassed. But it seems like this blonde student has a strong hold on emotions, or he had experienced those types of situations before. What about these 4 then? She said, gesturing to the 4 girls that were pressing on me. I think they got glued, I said, and the 4 girls nodded vigorously. Bring them in. I don't want to prolong my patient's treatment, said the nurse and walked into infirmary to bring some tools and supplies needed. I noticed something peculiar about the nurse. She is a beautiful young woman appearing in her early 20s with long, wavy, cherry blossom hair and has a well-endowed bust and slim waist. She wore a white gown and a miniskirt that showed her legs and wore glasses. She is beautiful. But the fact is, her beauty looks like a supernatural one. This happened in his mind and is not told to Reni. Kurama, is it my paranoia or is the nurse a supernatural being? I asked, and my partner, who woke up from his sleep. Though I am a great sensor and can sense emotions, I don't use it much as I don't want to get bombarded with all the emotions, mostly lust, in this world. I would ask Kurama to do it and Kurama did it now as well. Seems like you got a devil on your hands, said Kurama with a smirk through as the original Naruto is dealing with Reni. Oh, that is why her body is so sinful. Well, let's get some juicy details out of her sweet mouth then, I thought, and watched as the beautiful young woman treated all the girls, and as the treatment concluded, they all started to leave the infirmary one by one, but the 4 girls from earlier each kissed him on the cheeks before going out. I was left alone with the nurse. Continued his explanation to Reni. Excuse me, miss. Can I know your name? I think it is manners. Introduce yourself first before you ask a lady, Mr. I'm sorry. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, I sincerely apologize for causing you trouble with the girls. It's just, my vice president went a little overboard in their selection test, he said, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. My name is Roygun. It is not a problem at all, Naruto-kun. Students tend to get themselves injured after all. Teenagers are like that, she said, putting a hand on my shoulder. I felt heat rush through her body soon after that. She didn't respond for that though, but there is something in her heart that made me to hug her, said Naruto to Reni, who nodded. I thank you for your help, again, Roygun-chan, I said, and walked close to her, hugging her. She couldn't resist it, Reni-chan. Her emotions were haywire and I can still feel the loneliness she is feeling. We separated and I kissed on her cheek, said Naruto with a sad smile. You are not alone anymore, Roygun-chan. Feel free to come to Ninja Club anytime you want. Have a nice day, I said, and came out of the room and dispelled. Flashback, and that is how I found a lonely devil in our school doing a nurse job. I don't know what happened and don't care. I'm going to give her happiness again. She is not going to be alone with Naruto Uzumaki around, said Naruto as he stood and took her with him. My. I didn't expect such generosity from a student of Jiraiya-sama. Tell me, she is hot, isn't she? Asked Rennie with a teasing smile. Of course she is. What? Do you think such low of me, Rennie-chan, he said with a faux hurt tone. Of course not, my king is the kindest, charming and gentle soul who can't let a lonely devil be alone. After he meets her and kissed immediately, she is with a stern tone, her chest puffing out in pride but didn't move front because of the rock-hard torso of Naruto, but they pressed themselves even deeper into his torso. Flattery can take you everywhere, Rennie dear, he said, and they kissed. After a steaming hot bath, they prepared themselves for the school day. Meanwhile, Whirlpool Publications office, Hiroshima, in the office of once Modern Publications, which was renamed as Whirlpool Publications and as a part of the Whirlpool Group, stood Kateria Leviathan. Finally, she had managed to track down the main headquarters of Whirlpool Publications, which is the publisher that publishes Jiraiya-sama's books. She is waiting patiently in front of the office of the general manager of the publications. Soon, a young woman came to call her in a traditional Japanese office with tatami mats and cushions to sit. She sat patiently for the woman in charge to come. And she soon came. She is a slender yet shapely fair-skinned woman with waist-length purple hair with shorter bangs that is in a Heim cut and a large bust with red eyes. She wears a purple business suit with hand and knee guards, which Kateria didn't understand why she wore. She smiled at Kateria gently when she entered the room. I'm sorry to make you wait, madam, she said in a respectable tone and bowed an apology. My name is Mia, Uzumaki Mia, general manager of the publications. What can I do for you? She asked, sitting on the other side of the table. I'm here to meet Jiraiya-sama. I came here as I found that this is the head publications office. Can I assume you know his current whereabouts? Asked Kateria, trying to be calm and not lash out at the woman in front of her. This woman had a kind and gentle aura around her, but there is a dangerous side to that as well. Oh, I'm sorry madam. But Jiraiya-sama's schedule is full for a week and he will be free after that, said Mia in a calm tone. What do you mean he is busy for a week? I have a proposition for him and want to meet him badly, she said, trying to flare her magic to pressure the girl into giving her the information on Jiraiya. But her magic is not responding to her. It is as if it is sealed away. How is this possible? My magic, I can't feel it, shouted Kateria in her mind. I can understand your urgency, madam. But I don't know why he accepted all the women who wanted to spend time with him for the next week without any objections. It is as if he is in a hurry. I can't clear his schedule for you now, as it is over the limit already, she said in an apologetic tone. Kateria understood why Jiraiya is in a hurry. He just thought of being with as many human women as possible, as once he becomes one of us, he can't give them much attention. The devils are famous for their lust after all, she thought, and thought of a plan to work with this. Madam, Jiraiya-sama has also put some remuneration after the week. It currently stands at $1 million a day, said the manager. Kateria rose an eyebrow at that. So he planned on offering his services for money. Pretty cunning of him to think it through like this, but I shouldn't expect anything less from the man I desire and who had managed to get the attention of that filthy traitors that they are willing to join him among their ranks, thought Kateria in amazement. Mia watched the woman closely. She is here on the orders of her husband. She knew the woman in front of him is a devil, as she is aware of the supernatural, and her husband gave her complete knowledge of the various species. This is going to be interesting, I should inform him soon, she thought, calculating the threat of the woman in front of her. Okay. Book a full week for me. I want to spend some alone time with him, said Kateria. Mia looked at her wide-eyed. Are you sure, madam? Jiraiya-sama's stamina is something to be aware of, and do you think you can handle it for a week? Asked the girl skeptically. Though she didn't do it with Jiraiya, she knew the stamina of her husband well. She is trying to warn this foolish devil if she thinks she can handle that much pounding for a week. Kateria got angry at that. What is this filthy human thinking? Doubting my stamina and sex. I might be quite rusty as I didn't do it for few centuries, that doesn't mean I don't have any experience. Do what I say. I'll pay you. Is that clear, said Kateria, her eyes narrowing. If you can handle it, who am I to stop you from your fun, madam? Have a nice ride, she said, and gave Kateria the acknowledgement of her transaction and time and place where to meet Jiraiya. Kateria took it and left immediately, her nose high and her chest swelling out with pride. Finally, I got him. Now the only thing left is to talk to him and make him mine, she thought happily, and went on her day. Mia sighed and sealed the room with privacy and sound barriers. She channeled her magic and a dark orange magic circle lit in her palms. It stayed static for a second after a hologram of a purple whirlpool appeared in front of the purple-haired woman and she vanished in a bright purple magic circle with the same crest on it. "Look at this, my dear Mia-chan came to me." "Oh, can't you stay away from your husband for a while?" asked a teasing Naruto, who was sipping tea in his club office. "I would like to answer it more close and personal, my dear. That is why I came here," she just with a smile. Her face turned serious after that. "But now I have news for you," she said in a calm tone. "News for me? What happened? Is something wrong?" asked Naruto, his features turning serious immediately after listening to her tone, and he is in front of her in an instant, checking her body for any injuries. "Kateria Leviathan has just come in and booked an entire slot for a week. She didn't care about the price I told her. It seems she knew of Jiraiya's induction into devil ranks," she said, not caring for Naruto's poking and prodding. He didn't stop though. He checked all the sensitive parts of her and spoke again. "Oh, and what did she tell you?" asked Naruto with a smile, interested in the topic more as she leaned into him. Out of all his girls he had met throughout his journey in this world, Mia is the only one who knew his secret of being Jiraiya. He chose to forget about his life in shinobi and move on with his life in this world. And so that remains a secret of his shinobi life will be sealed forever, only known to him, Kurama, who have the complete truth about his true origins. Naruto turned his attention back to his self-proclaimed wife, who is now in his arms, with a serene smile on her face. A smile came to his face as he remembered the day he found her. Flashback begin. A year into his exploration, Naruto reached an isolated island far away from all the polluted and populated cities. He felt a faint nature magic spike while he was in the sky roaming, so he came here to check. He was walking around to find something interesting or find a nice spot to eat ramen. He found a large facility which is in ruins. It has a weird symbol on it. It is a horse head with 4 Magatama beads, 2 on each side and a yin-yang symbol in the middle of them below the horse head. "Maybe the residue magic gave me that," Spike thought the immortal blonde, and walked past it. He found a body lay on the ground, naked. Naruto walked closer to the body to inspect it. He saw the long purple hair of the person. He saw a beautiful young woman in her early 20s sleeping peacefully, fully naked. Though all her body was exposed to the elements, she seemed completely fine. Naruto walked closer and turned to face her. He sensed the faint magic spike again, which he felt earlier. She might be the source of it then. She had a beautiful face with 2 bangs of purple hair falling to her side, much like his blonde bangs. Naruto checked for any abnormalities in her and found that her vitals are running low and her magic is decreasing slowly. Deciding to see what is she doing here, he channeled some of his healing chakra into her, which managed to bring a reaction from the unconscious girl. As the healing chakra went in, her face scrunched in as if thinking of something. Naruto observed that her heartbeat and metabolism became faster. He used his yang seal to heal her completely, placing his hand on her chest and channeling the healing energy. She didn't seem injured, but her mind seems to be in some kind of turmoil. As soon as he healed her, her body shot up like a missile and she hugged him tightly. Naruto let her adjust to her surroundings. But soon, she pulled her head back and kissed him with hunger. He didn't mind, but he felt a faint pulse of natural energy being released from her. This made him curious. The kiss went on for 5 minutes. Naruto observed that she started to absorb some of his magic and energy, but nothing happened. She seemed disappointed by this and stopped kissing. "No use. Why am the only one alive?" she asked and started sobbing. "Is something supposed to happen?" asked Naruto, gently putting his hand on her shoulder. "No. It's no use telling you. I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable," she apologized. Naruto put his hand on her head and took all the information from her. "Oh, I see. So if you kiss someone who you feel to be the one, that will make a bond with that person which will give you a purpose to live," said Naruto, summarizing from her memories. She isn't interested in knowing how he knew that. "Yes, but even after the kiss, nothing happened. I thought you are the one as no one sensed my pulse," she said in a somber tone. Naruto pulled her into his arms. She lifted her head to see him and she stared straight into those cerulean blue eyes filled with so much love and compassion. "I know of a method which will work for sure. Are you willing to try?" he asked with a smile. "Really?" she said with hope filling her eyes. If this method is going to work, if she is going to get a purpose to live for a person who saved her, she is willing to do anything. "Tell me, what is the method to deepen a Sekirei's bond to be permanent?" "Do you mean, the intimate method?" she asked in awe as realization struck her. "Yes, I don't know why those idiots put it, but I'm sure using that method will work for sure," he said with confidence. "Maybe the kiss would have worked for this world populace, but as I'm from another world and physiology vastly differs, it needs something deeper to awaken her powers," thought Naruto. He knew what to do when he sensed a faint pulse of nature energy from her. "Are you sure this will work?" She asked with even more filling her eyes. If you are willing to try, then we can test it, he said with a smile. She just nodded her head vigorously. Naruto smiled at her enthusiasm. Close your eyes for a second, he said, and she did as he instructed. He used his shadows and took her to a remote island where they can do their work without any disturbance and damage. As she is still naked in his arms, Naruto removed his clothes and they started to move in alignment with each other. As they continued their moment of pleasure, after 15 minutes, Mia responded to all the efforts they had been doing till now. I'm almost there, she said, and Naruto nodded. He decided to make this a memorable experience and started to thrust even faster, and after a minute, they both released at the same time. Mia felt her body burn. Ah, she screamed, and a purple light engulfed the whole area where the house is located. With a large spike of nature energy, the building was turned into rubble because of the force released, and a purple Sekirei crest formed in the place Mia stood. Soon, the purple Sekirei crest turned into a purple Uzumaki swirl with purple color and black lines in it. It changed into a magic circle and started to descend towards the ground. As all the dust cleared, a person was revealed. This person wore a black shirt with V cut with orange endings, with a black mini skirt with purple lines drawn to the sides of them, and a purple Uzumaki crest in the middle of the shirt, and a brown belt holding both of them together. There is a long katana attached to the belt with a purple hilt and gold diamond patterns. The figure opened her eyes to reveal red eyes, and she fell from exhaustion after going through her transformation. Naruto was there in an instant and caught her with his hands. She looked up to see the smiling face of her savior. I didn't ask your name, yet, she said in a whisper. Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto, he said with a smile. Uzumaki, Naruto, she said, and Naruto nodded. What is yours, beautiful, he asked curiously. Mia, Uzumaki Mia, she said, and Naruto widened his eyes. Did she just take my clan name, he thought, and heard Kurama laughing. Hey, choose your house name, don't go taking mine. I'm not even married yet, he said indignantly with a smile. At least in this world, he thought. We should do it sometime, she said, and fell unconscious. Yeah, we should do it, he said, and saw the peaceful expression on her face. Rest now, Mia-chan. We'll do it when the time comes, he said, and she smiled in her sleep. That made Naruto smile. Seems like she can hear me even in her sleep, he thought, and took her to another house in Japan. Flashback end. After Mia woke up in bed with the blonde the next day, she got accustomed to the boisterous and serious sides of her self-proclaimed husband. She continued her life with him and did whatever he asked her to do. He told her, or more like requested her, to take care of Modern Publications, which is the main printing area for his, or rather Jiraiya's, books. When asked for her name to get registered, she didn't change it. Her name was registered as Mia Uzumaki. Though she didn't say it in the record, she calls herself his wife nonetheless, and Naruto is not concerned about it. If it makes her happy, who is he to stop it? She seemed adamant about meeting Jiraiya and discuss something in person. I think she is trying to recruit Jiraiya into her faction or something, she said as she leaned into Naruto. Naruto kissed her forehead gently. Well, it's fine, I guess, he said with a shrug. Wanting to add another woman into your harem? She asked with a mischievous smile. Harem, you say? Why not? Isn't she sexy and powerful, asked Naruto, and Mia went into a thinking pose. Considering her outfit, I guess she is sexy, powerful? I must test it well. I'll take her into the harem as you put it after you test her, he said, and now she is on him, her head on his chest. Naruto-kun, you have a letter, came the voice of Reni. Reni walked into Naruto's office at the club room to see her king with a purple-haired woman in his arms. She seemed happy and serene. Come, Reni-chan, he said, gesturing her towards him. She walked up to the bed, the letter still in hand. As she reached the bed and sat beside him, he pulled her in, making her cuddle with him. Ladies, introduce yourselves, he said, and they both looked at each other. You must Lavenia Ren, his bishop, said Mia, and the blonde girl simply nodded. The woman smiled at him. My name is Mia, Uzumaki Mia. Nice to meet you, dear. What? Reni took a once-over. Did she just say, Uzumaki? She thought. I thought I was your first piece, Naruto-sama, she said in anger and hurt. Ah, why should you say like that? Now look, she is all sad and moody, said Naruto, and took Reni in a hug. Now, Reni-chan. She is teasing you. Her name is Uzumaki Mia, my self-proclaimed wife, reintroduced Naruto. Reni looked up to see her king's eyes. He was being honest with her. She can see it. You are correct. You are my first piece, my dear blonde, which he said, and kissed her to lift her mood, and it worked like a charm. She got her a smile back. Here, this is the letter you received from Devils, she said, gesturing to the letter. Speaking of letters, I have one for Jiraiya-sama as well, said a smiling Mia. Naruto sighed, seems like devils have come up with something for him. No matter. That is not important now, he had even more important work to do. He turned to face both girls and with a snap, both the letters were taken from them and put on the table neatly. He grabbed them by their waist and vanished and appeared in his bedroom. They both gave a surprised yelp at being suddenly teleported like that. Leave about the letters now. Let's talk about something more interesting, he said, and pulled Mia into his hands and walked to the middle of the room. Rennie understood what her king was doing. Looks like she is going to get a sister in arms soon. Now, Mia-chan, do you remember the day we met on that island? He asked, and her smile changed to that of a sad one. Yes. Do you remember the promise I made when you took my last name? Yes, I took your name and you told me that we are not a married couple yet. Before I lost consciousness, you told me that we'll do it sometime, she said as tears fell from her eyes. Right. I know that this is not our marriage, but consider it our engagement, said Naruto, and everything changed. Will you become my knight and help me when I need your assistance? Asked Naruto, his school uniform turning into a regal black battle armor, with golden edges and wearing a full white bodysuit with a high collar. His eyes changing from cerulean blue to that of purple with concentric circles in them, and his body surrounded by golden orange light, giving him the appearance of a deity. Yes, is the only reply she can give. She is finally getting her wish partially fulfilled. Will you be my sword of light? He asked in a regal tone. Yes, Naruto-kun, then I swear that I'll protect you from anything and everything. This, I promise. And it shall be a promise of a lifetime. Will you accept my request to be my knight and sword? Asked Naruto. Yes, I will, she said and stepped forward. Then, from this moment forth, you shall be my knight. I'll protect you with my very being, said Naruto, and the cracked knight piece floated from his hand and merged into the skin of Uzumaki Mia. She accepted the piece and the effect was immediate. Her appearance has changed and she grew an inch in height and her body expanded a little, making her clothes tight. Her purple hair darkened a little and finally, from her back came two wings. Two ethereal purple wings with black endings to them, as if they are filled with her husband's shadows. She looked like some kind of ethereal beauty in this appearance and her power skyrocketed. Mia smiled at Naruto. Thank you. Naruto-kun, she said, and jumped into his hands. She can't stop her desire anymore, and Naruto had an even more pleasurable night with his two girls. Naruto woke up groggily to see Mia and Rennie opening their eyes. Even though he can sense them in sleep, he doesn't do it as it spoils all the fun. They had fun all week and today is the day he should meet Ajuka for his testing according to the letter sent by him. He knew well what he will do, as he gave Ajuka a good idea of what power he had when he took in the evil piece. Scene break. Ajuka's lab. Underworld. Ajuka was seen patiently waiting for something to happen, or rather someone to arrive. With an orange magic circle, came the person he is waiting for. Ajuka sent these particular coordinates and the letter to avoid anyone seeing Naruto coming in, as his addition to their faction is a well-kept secret only a few knew. It's good to see you again, Naruto, said Ajuka and smiled at the blonde boy. Naruto just nodded. Yeah. I know, man. It's been a while. So, what do we do? Asked the young blonde, stretching himself. I want to test you for any abnormalities and then we will meet someone important, said Ajuka seriously. Right, said Naruto, and Ajuka started his tests on Naruto. Meanwhile, the blonde was thinking, who are they going to meet? Maybe someone high in the devil hierarchy, said Kurama. Yeah, I know that. But who would that be? Maybe another Mao. But I met all of them except Falbium as Jiraiya Na. These Mao might be powerful but are just brats. I think it will be some old coot who held more power than these young brats, as they are just glorified figureheads, said Kurama. Hypothetically, that would be the case. But Naruto doesn't know anyone higher than a Mao. This would be his first meeting with this person and he should be careful and can't make any mistakes. As the tests were completed, Ajuka took note of his physical and magical stats and some other vital information. He started conversing with the green-haired man. So, who is the person that I'm going to meet? Asked Naruto curiously. It is Zekrom Bale-sama. The Great King, said Ajuka nonchalantly. Oh, the Great King, eh? Interesting, thought Naruto. What do you know about the guy anyway? Asked Kurama. Well, from what I observed, he is one of the first generations of devils and he is the one who led all devils to victory in the devil civil war against the old Satan faction. Does Skiadrum have any encounter with him? Well, the Dragon of Shadows saw him once when he stopped fighting between Elsha and that generation White Dragon Emperor. Nothing more. Elsha, huh? That's interesting. Maybe he thought making her his peerage member. After all, she is the strongest female Red Dragon Emperor, said Naruto, and Kurama agreed. Even though the girl didn't have her sacred gear anymore, she is at least as strong as a mid-class devil with her magic power alone and can rival a high-class devil in magic reserves. Poor girl, she got sealed away by Skiadrum. He tried to talk with the shadow dragon only for the dragon to disappear soon after sealing her away, said Kurama in a calm tone. Well, it can't be helped. Maybe it would be a good idea to show him your progress in your sacred gear. We don't want him to push you around now, do we? Said Kurama with a toothy smile. Oh, I'm gonna give him one hell of a show, alright, said Naruto with a smirk. Okay, Naruto. It seems everything is fine. Let's go, said Ajuka, and teleported Naruto with him in a green magic circle which has a weird shaped bee in the middle. Naruto assumed it to be the crest of Beelzebub house. They appeared in front of a large mansion, befitting a king. It is lavish from every angle and is covered in Western architecture with polished marble with a well-maintained garden and intricate designs making the mansion more enchanting. Naruto felt the overwhelming magic power coming from the home. Is it some kind of intimidation tactic, thought Naruto. From what he could feel, the magic pressure is around ultimate class and it is steadily growing and is solely projected towards him. Not that I care, he thought, and Kurama smirked. Slowly, everything started to grow dark. Darkness crept up the path Naruto walked. As they reached the entrance door, a maid in a maid uniform in red and black opened the doors. Welcome, Beelzebub-sama, Uzumaki-sama. Master is waiting for you, she said politely and respectfully bowed to them and walked across a large hallway filled with different paintings much like in Naruto's house. These were of war and peaceful time alike, and there is a picture that had a chibi version of current Satans. Cute, said Naruto observing the photo. Well, it was when we started our training with him long ago, said Ajuka. They continued and reached a large set of doors. He is inside, please enter, said the maid and left. As soon as she turned back, she couldn't find where she is. Everything is filled in shadows. Suddenly, everything vanished and she thought it to be an illusion and went on with her work. On the outside, the whole mansion is enveloped in shadows, making it impossible for anyone from outside to see what exists in that place. As they entered, Naruto saw a middle-aged looking man with black hair and peaceful violet eyes and wearing noble attire. He has an aura of strength and dignity. He observed all the pressure that is exerted on him was from this man. He willingly exerting pressure on Naruto, and he understood why. Oh, so that is his way to measure. If any want to meet him, they should at least endure the pressure to come. That is why the hallway is longer than usual. Crafty old bastard, smirked Naruto to himself. Now that the house was in his shadows, he can show them what he is made of. Impressive young man, you brought here, Ajuka, said Zekrom, giving Naruto a critical eye. It is unmistakable, you have Skiadrum in you and you have already filled my entire house in shadows. You have great control, it seems, he said in a calm tone. Well, Ajuka said, it is a test. So I thought, why not begin it already instead of waiting, said Naruto with a smile. Naruto, this is Zekrom-sama. The great king. Show some respect, chided Ajuka. I think you are correct in your conclusion of his personality as well, said Zekrom with a chuckle. See, Ajuka. He likes to be treated normally, said Naruto with a victory sign. Shall we begin? Asked Zekrom, and the air in the room shifted from jovial to serious. My name is Zekrom Bale. I'm the Great King of Devil Faction and leader of Great King Faction, introduced Zekrom formally. Ajuka Beelzebub, Satan Beelzebub, leader of Research and Development, Devil Faction, said Ajuka. Both of them turned to Naruto. Naruto stood formally, his clothes changing into those of noble wear. Naruto Uzumaki, high school student, wielder of sacred gear Shadow, Light, said Naruto, and his magic burst out. Ajuka and Zekrom felt the shadows shift in the room. But the most terrifying thing is the appearance of a black dragon behind him. He is a gargantuan quadrupedal dragon. He is covered in pitch black scales. Atop his head are two sharp horns and sports a small, pointed beard of shadows on his chin with red eyes with no visible pupils. Between his horns and running down his spine, he has a mane of shadows. His wings are covered in the same material. But this is not the thing that terrified them. The being behind the dragon. If the dragon is 50 meters tall, this figure stood 100 meters tall. He has long light blonde hair that reaches down his back. His front hair parts down in the middle, and he was wearing a golden red regal dress with green eyes with a gentle and kind smile on his face. They can identify him even after a millennium of his death. If that didn't give away his identity, 7 pairs of golden feathery wings coming out of his back with the brightest halo gave him away. God, said Ajuka and Zekrom at the same time. Yes, said Naruto and called back his power. How? Asked Ajuka. The man is dead for millennia now. How is this possible? Well, you can thank a certain 12-winged crow for that, said Naruto with a smile. I see. That idiot finally did it, said Zekrom. You know what he did, huh? Well, that saves me an explanation, said Naruto. Right. Azazel has been trying to create a sacred gear that has light properties in it. As a way to revive his father, you can say. But I didn't expect him to mix not only holy light but also a heavenly shadow dragon essence into one, said Zekrom with a sigh. You should give him some credit, old man. After all, if anyone knew I can wield the primary elements together, it will cause another great war, said Naruto. So you know what is at stake? Asked Zekrom. Yes. That old goat has explained everything to me good. That saves me some effort, well, sir. The other topic, intervened Ajuka. Ah, yes. Ajuka told me about your request to get a part of Kuo, yes. I'm studying there. Why not rule it with Rias and Sona, said Naruto. Ajuka and Zekrom rose an eyebrow. I should have expected this. Well, we will discuss it in a week after the ceremony. What ceremony? Asked Naruto. In 2 days, all your hard work is going to get rewarded. Another set of the evil pieces you received are going to be given to a human. I think it would be better if you come, said Zekrom. Yes, Naruto. I think you will appreciate meeting a man I think humans are dying to meet, said Ajuka. Oh, who is it? It is going to be a secret you should wait for 2 days to find, said Ajuka. Okay, I have places to be. See ya, Ajuka. Bye, old man, he said and vanished into a shadow. All the shadows surround the palace was gone with him. Well, that went well, said Ajuka. Yes it did, is the only replied Zekrom. Scene break. Welcome, Naruto-kun, said Reni as she saw Naruto appear from shadows in the room. She came in and kissed him, which Naruto returned. Thanks, Reni-chan, said Naruto. She nodded and looked at him expectantly. What? How did it go and who did you meet? Asked Reni curiously. Well, it is a long story. I met the great king, Zekrom Bale. He started and explained the full turn of events. Wow, that was amazing. Why didn't you show me that form? Pouted Reni. Some other time, dear, replied Naruto. So they agreed to give you a part of Kuo, huh? That was impressive. From what I learned during my education, devils are greedy who doesn't care about anyone else. It's not like they had an option. Ajuka did promise me that beforehand, right? But what do we do? Asked the girl. We do what we regularly do. I want my devil introduction ceremony entry to be grand. Let's go shopping, said Naruto. Yay, she jumped in happiness and they went shopping. Meanwhile, in Uzumaki Mansion, Kuo, a red magic circle lit on the floor, and walked out Jiraiya with a goofy smile on his face. It seems all those women are kind to you, Uro-sennin, said Naruto as he sat on a couch in the lounge area. Hey. Of course, they are, Naruto. They love their Jiraiya-sama so much to do anything, he said with a perverted smile. Naruto chuckled at the old man. There was a moment of silence, after which Naruto woke up and walked towards Jiraiya. Anyway, back on the reason, I called you. I just met Ajuka today and did my test, and tomorrow is going to be your test, or at least of the Jiraiya, they think. What do you want me to do? Naruto asked seriously. What did you reply to that letter? And want me to do now? I mean, all this time I'm here I enjoyed myself and you were Jiraiya here. But I should leave soon. I can't stay here for long, said Jiraiya. All his perverseness and goofiness have gone, replaced by a serious facade. I know, sensei. I wrote you have illusion magic, said Naruto with a grin. What? Illusions? Like genjutsu? Asked Jiraiya in surprise. Yeah, I thought that would be great. But now I got a great idea, and also, I planned how we are going to do this when you are officially declared as a devil human, said Naruto with a smile, and Jiraiya listened carefully. This is going to be fun for sure, he knew it. Scene break. Next day, Elder Council Chamber, Lilith. Every member of the Elder Council is waiting patiently for their guest to appear. Tomorrow is the big day of announcing Jiraiya-sama's official induction into devil ranks, and today is the day he is going to show them his skills. Everyone is excited to see what their beloved writer is capable of in magical arts. Regardless of his skill, he is going to get high-class status tomorrow. This is more like a formality for them. They all felt a sudden spike in magic, and in a red magic circle came out Jiraiya. They observed the design. It has the design of a magic circle with the kanji for oil and sage in the middle instead of any letter or sign, as in the case of all devil houses. Welcome, Jiraiya-sama. It is an honor to have you here, said the official representative for the Elder Council, a man from the Gremory clan. Pleasure is all mine, Gremory-san, said Jiraiya. Please come in, he said, and walked Jiraiya into the council chamber. The doors closed behind them. All the members of the council stood in respect to the perverted sage, and Zekrom, who sat at the head of the table, welcomed Jiraiya officially. Welcome, Jiraiya. "It is nice having you here," he said in Japanese, to which Jiraiya nodded. "Likewise, Great King," said Jiraiya, and bowed in respect to the Great King. As the pleasantries completed, they went straight into the matter. "My dear fellow devils, we are convened today here to see the magical capabilities of Jiraiya, the sage. Any objections to this?" asked Zekrom in a commanding tone. No objections came, and so he continued. "Jiraiya, if you please start," he said, and Jiraiya nodded. "As I have explained, I use illusion magic, and as you can see, I'm here," he said, and everyone nodded. "Tell me, where am I?" he asked, and the person in front of him and disappeared in magic particles. "Amazing," said one of the spectators. "They all thought he was there from the beginning." "But how? I felt you and your magic," asked one of them. "Can you feel my touch now?" asked Jiraiya, appearing behind the man and putting a hand on his shoulder. "Yes," he replied, confused as he didn't see Jiraiya move. "Yet, I'm not there," he said, but his voice came from another part of the hall, this time, beside Zekrom. The Great King was shocked. How did he do that? I didn't feel him until he spoke. Could it be another illusion? He thought. It is possible. After all, the man seems to be a master of illusion arts. He fooled all of them with his appearance and presence, and now one of his members confirmed that he can feel Jiraiya's touch even if the man was here, beside him. A terrifying thought struck Zekrom then. Could it be, all his existence is a lie? Could Jiraiya be fooling them all this time with him being someone else? That struck an ungodly amount of fear in his heart. His people are madly in love with this perverted man. The fact that he is given high-class devil status on the sole fact that they want him to give them more porn to read is proof enough of their love towards this perverted white-haired human. That love towards this man was one of the factors which made Zekrom agree to this proposal. But now, after witnessing his magical skills and abilities, doubt crept up into the heart of Zekrom Bale. He wants nothing but to do good for his faction, his brethren. A voice rang into his head. "You are worrying too much, Zekrom. I'm here to correct the flaws that you failed to notice in the system you established. I'm not going to harm any devils nor cause a civil war." "Don't worry," that voice said. It was the voice of a battle-hardened man. A man who saw a war in its horrors. He couldn't grasp whose it is. But he understood that what he thought was true. That is the reason why that person chose to speak to him instead of just leaving him to his thoughts. "Well played, whoever you are. As long as my race is not going to suffer, I'm going to allow this farce. But keep this in mind, if something was to happen to any member of my race, who will face my wrath," he said, hoping that person talking to him heard and heed to his words. "I appreciate your concern, Zekrom. But before you could do anything, I implore you to look into your system first. The pros and cons of it and the damage it caused to other races. Keep this in mind, you may be the Great King of the Devil faction and the first Bale with power of destruction. But you are still immortal irrespective of how long you live. If your race did any damage to any other faction and you leave the culprit unscathed, I'll take action." The voice paused and continued. "Remember, Zekrom, there will always be a person more powerful and stronger than you in the world," said the voice, and he felt a part of his mind clear up. Zekrom felt a shiver run down his spine. The coldness of the voice at the end is something he didn't feel since the beginning of the Great War. It has the same edge to it when God of the Bible cursed them with low fertility rates and made his light magic cleanse them. He can still remember those words. "From this moment forth, you who have taken bat wings will be the creatures of darkness, and I holy light cleanse you. You, who have fallen to the lowest of hell, suffer from low fertility rates and fight among thyselves with all the sins." The biblical God couldn't swallow the bitter truth that his children had fallen to a greater extent than the fallen angels could ever fall. And that Lucifer, one of his beloved sons, betrayed him. God of the Bible is a kind and gentle man. He preached to love everything and everyone. He gave a chance to anyone to change. To see his son Lucifer fall to such an extent broke the man's heart. Though he cursed them in coldness, Zekrom could still remember the pained and sorrowful look in the man's green eyes. All this happened just before the Great War started. That acted as a spark to start the bloodiest war in the history of the supernatural world. Zekrom forgot that he was in a meeting as he succumbed to his inner thoughts. Am I assuming correct about Jiraiya, or is this just a mere coincidence? From the way that person spoke, it is a warning. But why now? Is something going to happen in future? Are the questions plaguing his mind? Whatever happens, I must keep a close eye on the young generation. They are going to be the future of our race. I must find whether this warning about my past decisions or a sign of something happening soon. If possible, I must talk to Naruto about his mastery of his sacred gear. He is going to be a valuable asset in the future. I must think of a way to win his trust, he thought, disconnecting himself from the outside world. He thought of all the possibilities he can take to avoid the wrath of whoever spoke to him. To talk to someone who is experienced and battle-hardened like him was not an easy feat, and the confidence in that voice is terrifying. As Jiraiya continued his presentation of his skills, Zekrom continued to ponder all the possibilities. As the presentation came to an end, everyone stood and applauded the skills of Jiraiya. This managed to bring Zekrom back to the real world. Marvelous. Such amazing talent in illusion magic is unheard of and is thought only possible to yokai, said one of the members. Yes, that is correct. You are not only skilled in your books but also magic, Jiraiya-sama, said the Phoenix Elder. Praises continued to follow, and as time passed, everyone settled down to discuss the matter further. I think it is time to vote, Zekrom-sama, said one of the advisors, and Zekrom nodded. Yes. Now that we have a good measure of Jiraiya-sama's skills and magic, I want to put another voting session, he said, and everyone nodded. Those in favor of giving Jiraiya the Sen in the position of high-class human devil, asked Zekrom. Everyone rose their hands in favor. Those who dissent, he asked, and no hand rose. Jiraiya got even more favorable votes than before. Then it is decided. Jiraiya, the Senin, from this moment forth you are given the status of high-class devil, and you will receive your evil pieces set tomorrow in the official ceremony with another person who will explain to you how it works, said Zekrom, and Jiraiya nodded. It is an honor, he said, and bowed to the whole council chamber. The council is dismissed, declared Zekrom, and stepped down from his podium. Everyone went on their ways while Zekrom and other leaders went to check on the progress of the place where the ceremony will take place. Next day, Lucifer Stadium, Underworld. Lucifer Stadium is one of the most prestigious and special stadiums that devils ever made and constructed. This stadium was constructed by original Lucifer, the Morning Star himself, and is only used for something when highly important takes place. Devils feel a connection here to Lucifer, their father. That is why only the most important things take place here. Reincarnating a human into a devil was normal to them, but reincarnating a human into a human devil is something new, and that to be done to a prestigious figure like Jiraiya is something not happened in devil history and such stadium, and befitting the role. The stadium can hold hundreds of thousands of devils and can expand and shift its shape according to the design they want. They shifted the round stadium into a large auditorium with a large stage at the front and backstage with all the special effects chosen and required by their guests. Zekrom saw through the process and nodded in satisfaction. This duty was generally assigned to Sarafal, but he feared that she might add some magical girl Milky Spiral's posters and came to oversee the progress himself. He can't let go of the fear that crept through his heart when he heard that voice even now. It was as cold as ice in Cocytus as he had the opportunity to visit that god-forsaken ice in his life, and he had been frozen to the core at that time. I can't ignore the threat. The confidence is unreal. How can someone mock such a powerful faction like us? They must at least be a being of the top 10. It's just overconfident. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to be careful from now on. I guess I shouldn't think about this much, as that person said, and I have my strongest in Surzex and Ajuka if it comes to war. But I'm not going to leave it here. I'm going to find who it is, he vowed, and continued decorating the stage for the big event tomorrow. The event is planned for nighttime, as they are beings of darkness, and Jiraiya will be given his evil pieces at midnight. They creating history tomorrow after all. A human was accepted unto devil ranks, but still keeping his humanity is a once-in-a-millennia opportunity, and he is going to make it as grand as it should be. With Naruto in the ninja club room, Naruto was overseeing all activities with his girls. He wants to get it done as soon as possible, as he has some more preparations to be made. Why, thinking deep, King, came the sweet voice of Rennie. Oh, not deep. But I'm thinking of what to do. You know, tomorrow is going to be the day I'm going to be introduced as a human devil to the Devil Society, and they are in for a big surprise, he said with a smirk. Oh, do tell. What is it? She asked curiously. No. I know you won't be surprised as much as others. Here is what I want you to do, he said, and Rennie listened attentively. At the time of my announcement, I want you to go to student council room, as I knew Sona and Rias are going to be watching the live event from there, he said with a joyful smirk. How cruel of you, Naruto-kun. Of course, our beloved devils will get a surprise tomorrow, all right, she said with the same smile as Naruto. It seems like his prankster nature is contagious. Next day, Lucifer Stadium, Underworld. Welcome, my dear devil brethren. Take your seats and the ceremony will start within few minutes, said the host, a young devil woman in her mid-20s wearing a black business suit and a mic. The stadium was practically stuffed to its capacity, and some of the construction crew and seen expanding it as they arrive. The response to the announcement was unreal, as most of the high-class devils came, with all the lords and ladies of the Pillar clans attending the ceremony who were given their private VIP box. Meanwhile, backstage, I'm so happy, Jiraiya-tan, exclaimed Sarafal as she hugged the life out of Jiraiya. He is the original Jiraiya, as Naruto didn't want to send any clones this time. Easy, there. Sarah-tan. I want to reincarnate into a human devil, not a devil in your peerage, replied Jiraiya, taking deep breaths of air. Ah, I thought it was fun. Mo, that's fine. But you are going to act in one more movie as you didn't tell me about this, said Sarafal, pouting. Of course. Come think of it, I thought of releasing new book series especially for magical girl Milky. Really, please give them to me, asked Sarafal with puppy dog eyes. Nope, my student is putting final touches to it as we speak. Speaking of him, you didn't introduce me to that character well, I asked him. But he said he had something important than coming with me, said Jiraiya in exasperation. What, he knows of supernatural? Asked Sarafal in faux shock. Of course, he does. But I didn't tell him I'm going here. I'm afraid of what all the young devil's women do to him if he comes here alone, said Jiraiya with a sigh. What, is he that bad? Asked Sarafal. No, quite opposite really, said Jiraiya. Before she could, he continued, Jiraiya asked her a question. Where is Ajuka? I thought he is going to meet me. Ajuka-tan is talking to the person who will explain to you everything about the set you will receive, said Sarafal, omitting the part of their experimentation of that person. Well, I hope it all goes well, said Jiraiya, and Sarafal nodded with him. After that they went to talk about movies and stuff like about Sona and Jiraiya's books. On the other side of the backstage, what now? Asked a confused Naruto. It is simple, Naruto. I want you to meet this guy whom all this was done for, and explain in detail while the elders speak on stage, explained Ajuka again. What is there to explain, man? You know more about it than me, aren't you the big creator of all this? Said Naruto, gesturing to the evil pieces set which will be given to Jiraiya. Yes, I may be the creator. But I didn't know much about this set, that is why I banned the set. He noticed his slip up and tried to shrug it off as normal. As I was saying, as it's the only user, you should explain to him, Naruto, said Ajuka, and Naruto just nodded. Though he noticed Ajuka's slip up, he chose to play cool for now and research into it later. They heard a knock on the door and Ajuka allowed the person to come in. Naruto sensed the arrival of the person ahead of his knocking. He is a handsome man who seems to be in his early 20s. He has shoulder-length crimson-red hair and blue-green eyes similar to Rias. He is wearing a black and gold regal attire with shoulder plates and a cape with them. He had a kind and gentle smile on his face as he saw Naruto. So this is the chosen one, said the young man as he walked closer to Ajuka and Naruto. Ah, Sirzex, it is nice to see you. Yes, he is the one, said Ajuka. Naruto, this is Sirzex Lucifer, Satan Lucifer, and Sirzex, this is Naruto, the first ever human devil and a sacred gear holder, introduced Ajuka. Naruto and Sirzex extended their hands and had a firm shake. It's nice to finally meet you, Naruto. Yo, Sirzex. I heard you are one of a kind even in devils like Ajuka here, he said, referring to their super devil status. Well, it seems the secret is out, said Sirzex with a cool smile which is far from the truth. What is this? How is this possible? His magic reserves are far above that of an ultimate class devil and he is just a hybrid for a month at most and his aura seems to suppress my pod. What kind of being is he? I should talk to Ajuka soon, he thought as he felt the magic capacity and nature of the magic of the young blonde. It has this light and dark parts to it which Sirzex can't put his finger on. Now, let's call the guest of honor, came the voice of the host. Well, it seems it's time, Naruto. Do your best, said Ajuka with a smile. All the best, said Sirzex. See ya, he said and walked towards the staircase. As he reached the stage and waited for his entrance, he observed the mood in the stadium. They were very much excited and going wild. It's time, folks. Let's call the man in question, said the host. Naruto slowly walked and vanished from view and appeared in the middle of the stage with fireworks and sparkles going around him. Introducing, Naruto Uzumaki, shouted the host. Naruto? Shouted Jiraiya. Naruto turned to see the man in question and his jaw hit the floor. Sensei? Shouted the blonde boy. The stadium was silent at the turn of events. Pin-drop silence can be observed in the auditorium and not even one dared to make a noise. Ajuka, who is drinking a drink in the room, spit his drink in shock. Zekrom had a shocked look on his face and Sarafal was bouncing in joy at finally seeing the person who Jiraiya fondly talks about.